The DC Defenders, the best team in the league as things stand, having won 5 straight games. The Louisville Kings looking to keep their playoff hopes alive, 1 game back of the playoff picture. We're going to see who wins this one today at Audi Field. Appreciate all you guys being here for this one. Presented by Prize Picks. Use my code HMA, play $5 here, 50 instantly. My name is Jared Gare. Now, if you've never been to one of these streams before, how it works is like this. Fire away on the channel any questions you might have. I'll be happy to answer anything and everything. Any donation, get to your question right away. Otherwise, I just go in the order that I see and vote in that poll. Who do you think wins this one, the Kings or the Defenders? If you're a member, you can share it for either one of these teams with the emojis in the chat. We have the emojis for Louisville and for DC. Every donation counts toward you make the call. Help me decide which game we're calling tomorrow. Are we calling the NBA game or the NHL game? Which game are we doing? Netflix game week 18. Thoughts on that? If it happens, Netflix sucks for doing live sports. Netflix, the production sucks. They're more focused on figuring out how to get people to watch their products than they are about the game itself. I don't think it'd be, I do not want Netflix or Netflix. Yeah, Bailey trades to the Guardians for a first round pick and for a top prospect. Yeah, I think the Giants are just blowing it up at this point. How's it going, Michael? There you go. Right with you, my man. Wow, that one's summer. Yeah, that game was blood on Torrey's hands. I don't know why they pulled Garcia after 6 pitches. Made no sense to me. You let Garcia go a second inning. I don't know what the logic there by Torrey was, but the offense just sucks right now. The D-backs offense, everyone is playing their worst baseball. It's bad. All right, DC's going to get the ball to start, and let's do this thing. 56% of you on DC to win this one, and here we go. DC going right to left, DC going left to right. Louisville going right to left to start things off. Let's do this, and kickoff return to the 20, 25, 30. Up the middle to the 34-yard line goes Powell, and that's where DC is going to start this drive. You know, the D-backs just suck yesterday. They're not in a good spot. Blue or Lure get involved if they get week 18 game. Yep, 5 Netflix games. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. Not crazy about that. So, in at quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu. 11 touchdown passes this season. Last time out, DC won 24-6. Tamu 3 touchdowns, went 20 for 28, 227 yards, while the 34-yard line. Oh, I don't know about that, Summer. I don't know about that. Trips to the top of the screen, back to his right, while the 35-yard line. Now receiver goes to the bottom of the screen, to the top, one to the bottom. Tamu takes a step, they're going to send 4. Tamu looks in the flat on the near side, that ball's caught, and it's a gain of 3 on the near side for number 25, Deion Jackson, the running back, who last time out only had 17 yards from scrimmage. They struggled on the ground last game against Dallas, only 2.8 yards per carry. Gets things started on the flat here with a gain of 3, brings up 2nd and 7. Yeah, I think Giants are selling. I don't blame him. Trips to the top of the screen. In the pistol here. Tamu takes it. Stretch play to the near side. It goes. Breaks the tackle. Jackson to the 45. And he'll dive ahead to the 50. Gain of 12 and a first down. Their longest run last game was 7 yards. Already 12 yards on that one run. Louisville was very good last week against St. Louis, stopping the run. Allowed about 2 yards. Sweet play here to the near side to Jackson, and he cannot break the shoestring tackle. Gain of 2 to the 47-yard line. Down he goes on the play. Garner taking him down. They've already crossed the 50, so no punting allowed. 2nd 8. I didn't see that Dick Hughes died. I did not see that. You're not wrong on that one. Not wrong there. 2nd and 8. 2 at the top of the screen, 1 at the bottom of the pistol here. Tamu with Jackson in the backfield. Louisville 6 in the box. They're going to send the blitz down. Play action, slant pass. It's caught over the middle of the field. On the play action slant to the 30-yard line. It's a first down, and it's Ty Scott making the grab. Yeah, defenders win this too. Defenders win this one. Ty Scott last time out led the way with 4 catches. He'll get 17 yards there in a first. Maybe good, Summer. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Sweep play to the far side. Jackson then cuts up the middle to the 26-yard line. Flag flies in the backfield. And for the takedown there by Jalen Allen. This one might be coming back. It's a gain of 3 as things stand to the 26-yard line. They're getting a personal foul face mask on the offense. So move it back 15 yards. Make it 1st and 25. Netflix tries to buy Fox to get more content. I could see it. I could see it with Fox potentially losing the rights. I could see it. They're going to get a face mask on the offense. You don't see that every day. Yeah, Netflix getting more games this week. Cable TV might lose NFL forever. No chance on that. No chance on them losing NFL forever. But I'm not crazy about Netflix getting more games. They suck as a broadcaster. 2 at the bottom of the screen, 1 at the top, back to his left. Tamu. Gonna motion the receiver to the top of the screen, Cutie. Hand off up the middle and draw to Jackson, and Jackson's gonna dive ahead for a gain of 8. Good start to that sequence. Again, they're not allowed to punt. You can't kick the field goal, so just try and get back on schedule as best as possible. Gain of 8, make it 2nd and 17. That would be cool, Summer. Yeah, but cable's not losing the games forever. I mean, ESPN still. Yes, sayings have normalized DC and St. Louis Kings of the league, and Dallas falling back to earth. Yeah, Reed might have just been a flash in the pan. Wait, what? Bobby Cox just died? Wait, what? Well, I didn't see that. Trips to the top of the bottom of the screen. Tamu takes a step. They're going to send 4. Tamu, deep shot down the field on the skinny post. Incomplete on the far side. No flag. Looking for the tight end, Mason Fairchild. Wait, I didn't see anything about that. Oh, geez, yes. No, the Braves just posted it. Wow. Ted Turner and Bobby Cox for the same week. Man, that is crazy. One of the greatest managers of all time. That is, wow. 3rd and 17. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. 4 on the play clock. Back to his left is Smith. Tamu takes 7. They're going to send 5. Tamu pressured, sacked at the 47-yard line. The one thing you couldn't have happened, Josiah Bronson on the sack. The one thing you couldn't have happened, because you already crossed the 50, you could try the 4-point field goal. You got McCrane, who's got 2 kicks from 60 plus this season. Can he hit from 64? I'm not sure. Yeah, they're not gonna put him on there. They're gonna go for it. They are gonna go for it. Again, they're not allowed to punt. The one thing you couldn't have happened in that spot. And flag flies. They had too many in the huddle. Too many in the huddle, so flag flies, but I think a timeout called before they broke the huddle, so they'll have 2 left. But a horrible start for DC on their home field. 4th and 28. You have to go for it, unless you're going to try the 64-yard field goal, but no indication they're going to send McCrane out there. I know McCrane has made 2 kicks this year from 60+. And DC normally good on the opening drive. I mean, this is not a good spot to be in. Louisville defense bending but not breaking, and that's sacked by Bronson. I got you on that one, Jackson. Bending but not breaking. And Josiah Bronson taking him out of field goal range. Yeah, they're going to go for it. They're going to bring Tamu back on the field. Louisville should have pretty good starting field position here, barring anything crazy. Just can't do anything stupid if you're the Kings. 1 the top, 3 the bottom, back to his left. They got to go for on 4th and 28. Tamu in the gun. Takes the snap. They'll send 5. Tamu flushed out to the near side. Fires on the run. Way short of the sticks. It's bobbled but caught. And down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 8 for Ty Scott on the near side on the drag route. His second grab of the drive, but obviously well shy of the sticks. Well, they go for 4th and 28, you have to. So the rule in the UFL is that once you cross the 50, you can't punt outside the final 2 minutes. Final 2 minutes of each half, you can do it. So once you cross the 50, you have to either go for it or kick the field goal. So, believe me, if that was NFL, that's a dumb decision. But you're kind of screwed in that spot. There was a dumb decision yesterday, though. If you guys watched the UFL game yesterday with the Columbus Aviators, Ted Ginn, the head coach of the Aviators, going against the Battlehawks. And in that game, they scored a touchdown. The Aviators scored a touchdown. It was 31-20, right? Yeah, it was 31-20. And Ginn decided to kick the extra point to make it a 10-point game. Which makes no sense because you have the 2-point conversion and the 3-point conversion. So why not go for 2 or 3? So you know what you need. Go for 2 or 3 in that spot, make it a 1-score game. But Ted Ginn kicks the extra point, turns a 2-score game into a 2-score game. It definitely adds a little bit of strategy to it. Yeah, the final 2 minutes you're allowed to do it. A dumb decision for that. So Ted Ginn, head coach of the Aviators, they're down 31-14. They score a touchdown, make it 31-20. Ted Ginn kicks the extra point to make it 31-21. Even though there's a 3-point conversion and a 2-point conversion in this league. So if you go for 2 or 3 and you get it, it's a 1-score game. But kicking the extra point kept a 2-score game and a 2-score game. Yeah, Ginn is bad. Ginn's a bad coach. Yeah, Bobby Cox drafted a dynasty. A National League dynasty. I mean, those are the greatest players of all time. It might be the best rotation ever assembled. It really might be the best rotation ever assembled. So Louisville's going to get on their opening drive with a 40-yard line going right to left. They've had some issues at quarterback this season. Chandler Rogers is going to start this one. He's not thrown a touchdown yet this season. And the last time out in that game against St. Louis, 15 for 32 with 199 yards passing and an interception. Yeah, no, just confirmed. Just confirmed. Play action. Rogers flushed down. Now checks it down the hitch route to the 50. They cross, and that's going to be a first down. Hitch route over the middle. Gain of 15 and a first. They're across midfield. And it's Tariq Black on the grab. He led the way with 4 catches for 72 yards last time out. Imagine being the GM and naming yourself field manager and dominating both areas. Yeah, that's crazy. Greg Popovich started as the GM. And then he fired the coach and made himself the head coach, and it worked out pretty well. Back to his left. One at the top, two at the bottom. Rogers in the gun. 6 in the box. Handoff delayed up the middle to the 40, 35, 30. What a start for Louisville, down to the 26-yard line. It's James Robinson, the former Jaguar running back. Holmes and McCann Warrens. I mean, it's part strategy at this point. That's a huge gain for Robinson, the undrafted guy who was dominant in Jacksonville for his rookie season. Before injuries took a toll on him. Only had 13 rushing yards last week, but a good start here. And he's going to get the ball again up the middle. Juke move to the near side. James Robinson with the stiff arm down to the 5. On the near side. He juked Bryce Thompson out of his shoes. What a start for Robinson. He's got 40 yards his first 2 carries. You must really not have an issue with that rule so far. How's it going, W viewer? Another afternoon. I won't. Goodness, thanks for the stream. Be on the background. Appreciate you a ton. Thanks for all you do, man. Appreciate you a ton as always. First and goal for Louisville. Ball at the 5-yard line. Back to his left is Robinson. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Rogers takes a snap. They're going to send the pressure. Robinson on the sweep. Denied. They set the pressure and not enough blockers there, and it's going to be a loss of 5. Brandon Smith coming up the gap to make the stop of the sweep to the far side. Second and goal at the 10. It is right up the A-gap. Relatively untouched. Mike McAllister, the center, was pulling, but never stopped the A-gap initially. It's going to be a loss of 6. Second goal, Rogers. They're going to send for Rogers. Stepping up. Pocket collapses. Ball's out, but Louisville falls on it. The ball is out. Sack on the play, and then diving on that loose ball is Donovan West for Louisville. They're going backwards ever since entering the red zone. Sacked there by Boogie Basham. Third and goal. Basham just driving the right tackle into the ground on that one. Juwan Bushell-Beatty just destroying him at the point of attack. Third and goal. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his right. Rogers snaps it. They'll send for Rogers. Underthrown, hitch route on the near side, and that is for Lucky Jackson, the former defender receiver, going against his old team. Incomplete, so Louisville gets into the red zone, then goes backwards. They'll have to settle for 3 with Tanner Brown lining up for the field goal try. Brown was 1 for 2 last week, hit from 40, missed from 53. This one from 35. He's 15 for 17 on the season. Should be a chip shot here to go 16 for 18, and it is not. Shanked it wide left. His 3rd miss of the year in Louisville after getting down to the 5-yard line. Comes away with nothing. Shanked it from 35 yards out. Wide left. Ball will go back to DC when we get back here. A shocking miss there. Still no score after each team's opening drive. Again, appreciate you guys a ton for being here. If you like what we see, folks, hit that like button, subscribe. It does help us out on the channel as we try to grow this community even more. I should also note that we're not doing OT after this game, but we're going to be doing OT later tonight when I get back from the D-backs game. So just keep that in mind. Every donation counts toward you make the call. I'm going to say which game we're calling. Thunder Lakers or Knights Ducks. Ducks looked good yesterday. Ducks looked very good yesterday. By that I mean they look like crap. Missed it wide left, and DC no harm done off the 4th and 28 failure. We live for every UFL game next week, barring anything crazy. So we're heading down the home stretch of what's been a fun season so far. And remember, the UFL changed their rules, so There's no divisions. It's just the top 4 teams make it, and it's made so much more playoff intrigue. Because you truly have no idea who's making it. Especially with Dallas kind of falling off as of late. You have no idea who's making it. You know DC is going to be in. You know St. Louis is going to be in. And you have a good idea Orlando is going to be in. But that final spot is so up for grabs. Louisville, one of those teams. No one eliminated. I mean, every team has at least 2 wins. Birmingham now with Dorian Thompson-Robinson as the quarterback. He looks sharp. Birmingham might be turning things around. They might be turning a corner. Like, this is a wide open season. Time and place for the wave, but I'm not... No, I'm not anti-wave. No, are you kidding? I'm not anti-wave at all. Like, a concert's waiting for concerts to start, or, like, blowout games, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with the wave. I'm doing all right, Keller. I'm doing all right. Minus, you know, the D-backs kind of sucking as of late. I'm doing all right. MedSig is usually easy to sell. Usually easy to sell. I mean, I keep them, but yeah, Mets tickets. They're not like one of the top teams, but there's a New York market here. Hitch route over the middle of the field. We're back on our way here. Ty Scott makes the grab and dives ahead to the 34-yard line. The extra from yesterday. That game is why you fire Torey Lovello, because there's no reason to pull Garcia after 6 pitches in the 9th inning. Happy that Waldy got to play, though. Happy that Waldy, he looks good. I know it's only 1 at bat, but Ryan Waldschmidt looks as good as advertised so far. Excited to see him in the lineup today. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. 2 in the backfield with Smith in there. They're going to fake the give to Smith. Tomu going to keep it on the read option, and he'll slide down at the 40-yard line for a first. Fooling everyone over the middle of the field. First and 10. I go to an opener. Ooh. 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Back to his left. Tomu takes a snap. Play action. Swings out to the far side. That is caught by Smith, and Smith will truck his way ahead to the 46-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 5. Abram Smith out wide on the far side of the field. Brings up 2nd and 5. Right, and a red flag at NASCAR, nothing's happened. Yeah, that's a good one too. But not like the final lap. Last one for the N500. Yep. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, 2 in the backfield here. 2nd and 4. Tomu. Play action. Flats wide open on the near side. That's caught by Smith for a first down and flips ahead to the 41-yard line. Taken down on the play by Garr. But a first down for Smith. Easy pitch and catch in the flat on the near side. It's a gain of about 13 yards. And DC moving on their 2nd drive. Nice, easy completion so far. Now, everyone was open on that one. As Ukama was going to be open on the out route on the far side. The slant route was open. Just terrible coverage by Louisville all the way around. 2 in the backfield here, 2 in the top, 1 in the bottom. Tomu takes a snap. Going to keep it on the read option. This time, Louisville gets the stop on it. Jaheim Thomas bringing him down for no gain. Not fooled by that one after allowing the read option for 6 yards earlier. You gotta love that, Dexy. Yep. It's early, but still. They're here for one player only. We all know it. Back to his left is Jackson. You know, it's smart we play the percentages. Trips to the top of the screen. Tomu in the gun. Takes the snap. Play action. Slam pass. Middle of the field. That's an easy grab. Powell dives ahead to the 25-yard line before he's taken down by Garner. Fire Torrey for the end of the season? No chance. No chance on that. Unless this team loses like 10 straight. I like Torrey as a person. I think it's time for a new voice. I think he completely mismanaged that one yesterday. Jackson in the pistol. Trips to the top of the screen. Jackson in the backfield. Tomu takes a snap. Stretch play to the near side. It's Jackson. He'll get 3 down to the 22-yard line on the near side. Again, they're going left to right. Xavier Carlton, the big defensive end, making the stop. Brings up 2nd and 7. If you like what you see, folks, hit that like button, subscribe to this episode, tell the channel, try to grow this community even more. It makes sense on that one, Jackson. Yep. Makes sense there. Trips to the top of the screen as you can comment in the slot. Tamu. In the gun. Back to his left. 5 on the play clock. Got to get this off the 22-yard line. Tamu, hand up the middle, and that's stuffed. Nothing there. Steel Chambers bringing down Deion Jackson right up the A-gap. It was a huge blocking failure there. Tamu's been perfect so far today. You know they're going to be thrown on 3rd and 7. Now just a safety blitz and no answers up the A-gap. I don't know about that, Keller. I think this team's poised well for 2028. Like, we need pitching, but I think this team's poised very well for 2028. But this year's going to be rough. They're going to send 5. Tamu. Slam pass. High throw. Almost intercepted. Was looking for Powell over the middle of the field on the slant, and that was almost picked off by Garer on the coverage. Or excuse me, by Cameron Dantzler, number 3, not number 7. My apologies on that one. But Powell over the middle on the slam pass and was right in Dantzler's hand. Should have been picked off. Yeah, that's not good, Jackson. Yeah, this team's got a lot of young talent, but I think 28, this team's poised to do a lot. Field goal, oh, that is nowhere close. McCrane shanks it wide left. And Matt McCrane's been very good this season. But neither kicker having a good start so far. 40 yards and never had a chance. Ball back to Louisville here when we get back. You know, I said 27 before. No, I think 27 still could be pretty good. But 28 is really, really when I think it's going to happen. But also the lockout, yeah. Yeah, just lockout questions there. I saw the lion's share. I didn't see anything else from Price is Right, but I did see the lion's share. So ball the 28 for Louisville when we get back. Still no score. You know, that's I see on that one, Jackson. Sloppy start for both teams once they've crossed the 50. Yeah, both kickers and helmets to the left of the first. Yep. If you like what you see, folks, hit that like button and subscribe. It does help us out on the channel. New video dropping today. So we're not going to do OT. After this game is done, I'm going to get the new video out. And then we're going to go from there. New video will be a scheduling controversy video, and then we're going to do an OT stream later tonight at like 10:30. You know, that's a bad average. That's a bad average. Yeah, I think it's time for me to do that, yep. Yeah, we all knew it was going to happen, Isaac, yep. More likely next over here, Seahawks, Jags, Super Bowl, Mariners, D-backs, World Series. Seahawks, Jags. As long as the Dodgers exist. So ball at the 28-yard line. Both teams missing a field goal on their last drive. All 3 drives have crossed the 50. What happened after that? Failed 4th down conversion. Louisville miss. DC miss. 1:50 to go in the first. Ball at the 30 for the Kings. They're going right to left to start this drive. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, back to his right. Rogers in the gun. He'll hand it off up the middle and breaks 1 tackle and down at the 37-yard line. Gain of 7. Good start to the drive for number 20, Jaden Sherman. Who gets his first carry of the day. 2nd and 3. So far, they run the ball pretty well. Yeah, did nothing on the ground against St. Louis last time out. Has Bean been playing? So Bean is no longer with Louisville. 2nd and 3. Hand over the middle. And just shy of the sticks. I think he's going to be just shy of the sticks. Yeah, by a yard. It's shorting up the middle. 3rd and 1. You know, Bean got traded. So he hasn't been playing a lot lately. He got traded. 3rd and 1. They can't go tush push, but they're going to line up in a QB sneak look. And, oh, that's close. Initial indicator is that he didn't get it. Initial indicator is that Rodgers is short. Well, that'd be good, Dixie. Yeah, he's short. They stop the QB sneak, brings up 4th and 1. You figure they're going to go for it. He got traded DC. So, he got traded DC. They swap backup quarterbacks. Louisville's backup went to DC, and DC's backup went to Louisville. Oh, they're going to give it to him. Oh, that looked short initially, but they overturned the call, and ball's going to be at the 40-yard line. So they do give him the first down. Rodgers sends off of the middle, nothing doing. Gain of maybe 2 for Robinson on the draw play, and we go 2nd and 8. When we get back here, still no score. Have in common, both our teams. 2nd and 8 when we get back. You know, Twins, I think, are going to have, they're going to have over 90 losses. Put a poll up. Who wins this one? Yeah, you really looked good yesterday. That's funny how that worked out with the grocery store. So 2nd and 8 when we get back here. At the 42-yard line. Marlins, Mariners, or Dolphins, Seahawks? Dolphins, Seahawks. No, Rockies, I don't think we're going to lose 100. I think the Rockies are going to be halfway decent. Rockies aren't losing 100 this year. They're not losing 110, I know that much. It comes in 3s. Yep, Sterling, Turner, Cox. That's crazy. Yeah, we lost a lot of legends. From my childhood, too. A lot of legends from my childhood. So, ball the 42 when we start the second. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit the like button, subscribe. It really does help us out on the channel. So, we're trying to grow this thing even more. Mariners are starting to find their rhythm. It feels that way. You said after 5-1 road trip, and then we know what happened there with the 6-game homestand. Yeah. Ball connect to the Braves. Yes, Sterling called Braves for 5 years. Which, I mean, I didn't know that until he passed. I did not know that because, obviously, I've associated him forever as the voice of the Yankees. One of the top, to the bomb, back to his left. They're going left to right now. DC going right to left. Hitch route over the middle of the field. That ball's caught. 3rd and 1. Lucky Jackson making the grab. His second of the game. 3rd and 1. The former DC receiver. Again, they're going to line up in a QB sneak look. Rodgers, good job. They're not going right at the A-gap. Instead, bounces outside. Gain of 2, and you got to be separated after the play. As James Tunstall getting into it with one of the DC players. It will be a first down at the 49-yard line, so another drive that crosses the 50. But that does help ease the pain. It does. Yep. How's it going, Adrian? Happy Saturday to you, man. 2 at the top of the screen, 3 at the bottom, empty backfield here. Rodgers in the gun. They're going to send 4. Rodgers. Miscommunication. That ball's caught on the far side. You had 2 guys jumping the out route. No one jumping the fly route. And it's caught on the far side by Tariq Black, his 2nd of the game. Yeah, Bobby Cox, absolute legend. Absolute legend. Gain of 14 on the fly route. Ball will be at the 33-yard line. Back to his right. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Now he's going to motion the back to his left to Sheridan. Rodgers in the gun. They're going to have 6 in the box. Hand off the middle of Sheridan. Nothing doing. Bottled up. Runs into his own lineman. Tunstall is pushed back at the point of attack. And then taken down for loss of 2 by number 8, Derek Parrish. 2nd and long. Louisville's done a good job this drive staying on schedule. Now they're behind the 8 ball here on 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2 to start things off at the 35-yard line. Drive start after a rare miss by Matt McCrane. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his left here. Rodgers in the gun. DC this time showing 7 in the box. Takes a snap. It's a low snap. Hands it off on the sweep and nothing doing. Flag flies. This one could be coming back. It's no gain on the sweep to Ian Wheeler. Holding on the offense. So you could make it 3rd and 12, but they're going to make it 2nd and 22. It was wrapped around. Yep, easy call there on the sweep is Derek Parrish, who's been a living nightmare these last couple plays. It's wrapped around the neck. Namon's in some trouble. They were in some trouble. 2nd and 22. 1 of the top, 3 of the bottom. Back to his right here is Robinson. 6 in the box this time for DC. Rodgers takes the snap. They'll send 4. Looking on the screen, that ball's caught. Has some space down the far sideline. And a good job there again, that yardage back from the holding penalty is that Sheridan. Down the far sideline. Then a fight breaking out after the play. Refs have to break this one up. Fox cut away from it. We'll check in. I know DC was, Tariq Black was in there. It's a gain of 12. Fact on that one. Yeah, DC wins. They lock at the first of 4 playoff slots. Yep, and well-deserved, too. Well-deserved. Gain of 15, 3rd and 7. Off the screen to the 30-yard line. No flag after the fight that broke out. Empty backfield here for Rodgers. 2 at the top, 3 at the bottom. DC will send 5. Rodgers looking fly route, far side, incomplete. Tight coverage there by Thompson. Ball was overthrown on the far sideline. Looking for Isaiah Winstead. 4th and 7, that should send the kicker, Tanner Brown, out for the field goal try. He shanked it wide left last time. This one from 48 yards. Brown's missed his last 2 field goals dating back to last week. This one 48 yards. He missed from 35 last time. This one will be good right down the middle. So Brown bounces back and Louisville takes a 3-0 lead. Now McCarron's not doing so well as head coach. No, he is not. But I will say Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked very good since that trade with Orlando. He's looked very good. So they might be okay. They have a quarterback now in DTR. I think he's very good for this league. Like, he looked phenomenal last time out against Orlando. Maybe the upset of the season. 3-0 your score. Louisville in front to get things started here. DC Bowl when we get back. If you like what we see, that like button, subscribe. Helps the channel. Helps us to try to grow this community even more. BTR's been fun to watch. BTR's been very fun to watch. Yeah, the rookie preseason, he was great. Oh, man. I was hyped for DTR. I was hyped for him, but it just didn't work out. Like, it was very clear in the regular season, oh, that was fool's gold. He kind of sucks. The United Bowl, I like it better than the UFL Championship. I think you got to call it some name. I think it's fair for Brandon to call it a name. So I like United Bowl on that one. Santana Brown knocking down that field goal from 48 yards out, right down the pipe. DC moved the ball well on their last drive. Just couldn't get McCrane to knock down the field goal. But Tamu looked sharp outside that final pass. Bring back the $1 million game, yes. Yes, that's what we need to do. Yeah, bring back the old XFL rules. That's what we need. How's it going, Matthew? Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, absolute legend. One of the greatest managers of all time. An absolute character, an absolute legend. I mean, Bobby Cox. I mean, it's crazy that Bobby Cox and Ted Turner in the same week. Really is crazy. The men that made the Braves what they were in the 80s and the 90s. All right, back on our way here. DC going to get it for their second drive. Coey with a tour. Appreciate you a ton. Opinion on the Sugar Bowl from 2013. Ooh. Kickoff return to the 25, and that will be where he stopped. Nothing doing on that one for Ezukama. Which game do you want, Kobe? I'll get you in the call for it. Opinion on the Sugar Bowl. That was the moment I thought Teddy Bridgewater was going to be a stud. Because Florida was so good that year. Florida, I truly believe Florida would have made the Natty if not for the Jordan Reed fumble against Georgia. And I truly believe they would have made the Natty if not for that. And I thought Florida was going to win that game, and then Teddy Bridgewater comes in and just lights it up. I'm like, this kid's going to be a stud. At that moment, I wanted to kind of tank for Teddy in 2013 to get Teddy Bridgewater on the Jaguars in 2014. Like, he was incredible. And obviously, very good quarterback until injuries set in. But I thought Bridgewater was phenomenal that game. It's also the beginning of the end for us, champ. Appreciate you on that one. Which game do you want me to do, basketball or hockey for Sunday? Yeah, but Teddy Bridgewater just nuts that game. Couldn't stop him. And Florida's defense was good. Musgrave's defense is no joke, but just couldn't stop him that game. Trips to the top of the screen. Tamu off his back foot, and that's a wild throw in the corner route. He's looking for Powell, and nowhere close. 2nd and 10. Tamu off his back foot there. Was hit on the play by Carlton. He's even called him. We called him a couple times today. 2nd and 10. Back to his right. Trips to the top of the screen. Tamu in the gun. He's going to take the snap. Handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's Xavier Valladay. The former ASU running back going nowhere. Keaton Ellis on the stop at the line of scrimmage. on Xavier Valade. DC, who has started off games phenomenally this season, in some trouble here. 3rd and 10. Ball to 24. Valade to his right. Trips to the top, 1 at the bottom. Tamu takes it. They're going to send 4. Tamu, flag flies, and that's going to be a false start. We get some movement, and now DC going backwards. Nothing's going right for the top team in the league right now after winning their last 5 games and, for the most part, winning them rather convincingly. It's early, but not up to the best of starts. 3rd and 15. Every drive this game so far has crossed the 50. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Back to his right is Valade. They have 3 on the line. See how many they send. They're going to send 4. Tamu, pressure off the edge. Tamu steps up, avoids the pressure, fires down the field, has a man. There's a flag on the play. It's caught by Antonio, and that's a touchdown. There is a flag on the play. They brought the corner blitz. Tamu escaped the pressure off the edge. Antonio on the post. What's the flag? What's the call here? DC's all smiles. They think it's going against Louisville. Personal foul, roughing the passer, and it is. Jordan Tamu to Javon Antonio from 81 yards out. Pressure off the edge. Tamu steps up, avoids the sack somehow on the diving attempt by Jalen Allen, and it's a perfect throw to Antonio in stride. Javon Antonio with the longest touchdown pass, or longest touchdown grab, I should say, by DC this season. That's only his 2nd grab of the year. He's got 2 catches this season for 2 touchdowns. No, $1 million doesn't go as far as it did. No, Big Brother had to up from $500K to $750K just a couple years ago. Jordan Tamu to Javon Antonio. He's only caught 2 passes this season. Both have gone for tutties. And right as DC was on the brink, or on the ropes, I should say, 81 yards. The flag was on Louisville for roughing the passer. And I think because of this, they're going to send the offense back on the field. DC's going to take the penalty and go for 2. DC's going to go for 2. Checkmate with the 5. Appreciate you a ton. Avs v. Canes inevitable. I don't know about inevitable. I don't know about that. I mean, I wouldn't count out the Knights. I wouldn't count out the Sabres. But I do think it will be Avs v. Canes. Moving out for hockey? Beautiful. Get you on. Appreciate you, man. So they're going to go for 2, and they're going to put it at the 1-yard line off of the roughing call. So you got to take it half the distance to the goal. Appreciate you on that one. Well, Mr. Beast did a crossover with Survivor and everything. Back to his right, 1 the top, 1 the bottom. Tamu from the 1-yard line. We're going to motion the receiver to the top as Ukama. Tamu, handoff up the middle. Valade stuffed. So they go for 2 off the roughing the passer, and he's denied. Up the middle stuff by Nick Kubica. So it's a 3-point game. They go for 2. It doesn't work. Doesn't take away from the 81-yard touchdown to Javon Antonio. 6-3 your score when we get back here. What a dart by Tamu. Considering the fact that the last throw was pressure off the back foot, the throw before that was almost intercepted. To bounce back nicely and throw his 12th touchdown of the season perfectly in stride. Yeah, this one's been crazy so far, Nick. This one's been crazy so far. Yeah, I think Abs and Canes are clearly the top 2 teams right now. Why are they going for 2? Because there was a roughing the passer penalty that moved the ball to the 1-yard line instead of... So 2-point tries are usually from the... Ooh, jam my foot. Usually from the 3, but because Louisville got called for roughing the passer on that 3rd down touchdown, they got to move it up from the 1-yard line. So I have no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that one. They went for 2 because they got a pretty good advantage with the yardage. That's one of the times I don't have a problem going for 2. Right, it wasn't a regular 2. It was a 2 from the 1-yard line. You like the Wilds win at least one game in the series, but we're cool to see the Avs go 8-0? Yeah. No, Avs are just a force to be reckoned with. I think nothing's stopping Carolina in the East. In the West, I could see the Knights put up a fight. But I think it will be the Avs. "81-yard touchdown, longest touchdown of the season for DC." And if you like what we see, folks, make sure that like button, make sure you subscribe. It really does go a long way. Helps out a ton on here as we try to grow this community even more. New video dropping today after the game is done. We'll do OT at around 10 o'clock Eastern time. On the 1-yard line, to do the tush push. Not allowed to. They outlaw the tush push. So UFL, you cannot call a tush push. They ban that formation. You can QB sneak, but you can't tush push. All right, gonna get back underway here. McCrane gonna kick off. Kickoff here, going to the far side, fielded at the 10-yard line in the landing zone, taken to the 20, 25, 30, and then down at the 34-yard line. That's where Louisville's going to start this drive on the 24-yard return by Ian Wheeler. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. It's a little bit strange. They do have some innovations and stuff to make it more exciting, more, I guess, interesting for viewers. And to showcase skill sets, because the whole goal of the league is to try to make it to the NFL. So, but I completely get it in the sense that running the tush push is not going to get you in the NFL. It's just not. One of the top, 2 of the bottom. Rodgers hands off up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, then brought down the 40-yard line. Gain of 5 on the run for Wheeler. Louisville running the ball pretty well so far this game, especially compared to their season average. They're the worst rushing team in the league. DC was very good against the ground last time out against Dallas. Held them to just 3 yards a carry. There was 1 run that Dallas had of 20 yards. Take that run out. They had 15 carries for 30 yards, so 2 yards a carry, which normally good. 2nd 5, 1 the top, 1 the bottom. Rodgers hands it off again to Wheeler. He's going to truck his way ahead for, well, I thought it was a first down, but he might have gone backwards. We'll see where they mark him. It's a gain of at least 4. For the stop there by Curtis Jacobs, the linebacker. On the second effort, he's going to be shy. Jacobs eventually stands him up, and it's 3rd and 1. They've run the QB sneak a couple times in this 3rd and 1 spot. Did that a couple times on their last drive. This time they're going to operate out of the gun. Rodgers in the gun with the back to his right and Wheeler. 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. DC showing 7 in the box, going to send the blitz. Hand over the middle, that's a busted play. They were all out of sorts. Wheeler was stumbling out of the backfield before the ball was even handed off to him. Might have been miscommunication too. Louisville might have gotten away with a false start. It's going to be a loss of 1. 4th and 2, and now decision time here for the Kings near midfield. It was a very late handoff. Lucky it wasn't a fumble. Rodgers, I think, was trying to tuck that ball back and keep it himself on the read option, but was already too committed to handing off to Wheeler. And for the first time today, we're going to see the punting team out. Mac Brown on the punt, and it's a quick 3 and out for Louisville. The punt here will bounce at the 1 and will die at the goal line. Touchback. Not the worst punt by Brown. It took a pretty unlucky bounce. It started the one, then the second bounce. It just nudged the goal line. That was close to being really, really good. Couldn't get down in time. DC's going to take over after forcing the 3 and out. First punt of the game. DC ball when we get back here at Audi Field. Again, if you like what you see, folks, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It really does go a long way. Helps us out a ton on the channel. And you can go to Prize Picks. Use my code HMA. I'm going to do a build at halftime if you want to see what we're... you want to tail with me for that. It's 6-3 your score. New video dropping later today, probably around 6 o'clock Eastern time. I've got all the footage in. I got the script in. I just have to record and edit it. And we will go from there. So last drive for DC, Tamu to Antonio from 81 yards out. It's the longest touchdown pass by DC this season. And not just that, it was the longest touchdown from scrimmage this season in the UFL. Previous long was 79 yards in the Orlando-Columbus game back in Week 1 with Plummer to Badger. So the longest touchdown of the season. Previous longest touchdown was 75 yards. For us to Butler a couple weeks ago in that DC St. Louis game. So coming off the longest touchdown of the season this year, DC will operate off the touchback at the 25-yard line. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom again. Touchbacks go the 25, not the 20. Off punts in this league. Hand off in the middle. Starts off with Jackson. And unable to get the ground game going so far, so that's only going to be a yard. Stopped in the middle by Thomas at the 26. Brings up 2nd and 9. He's got Jackson in the backfield again. Louisville standing strong defensively against the ground so far. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, 2 in the backfield. Tamu, play action. He's going to take off and run. So looking to the right side for Jackson potentially, but just ate the play. Imagine that was a team name? Yeah, can you imagine? Orlando Columbus game. 3rd and 7 at the 28-yard line. Six and a half to go in the first half. Last time on 3rd down, Tommy threw for 81 yards. Back to his left is Jackson. 2 at the top. 2 at the bottom, and they're not going to get the playoffs, so they're going to have to burn a timeout. They'll have 1 left. How's it going, Cujo? Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you being here, as always. About 6:19 to go in the first half. Yeah, rest in peace to Bobby Cox, yep. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Bobby Cox is in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest managers ever, yeah. Yeah, he's been in the Hall for a while. He got in the Hall in 2014. Yeah, he got 100% of the vote. Like, he got the entire, like, not a single person didn't vote for Cox on that committee. It's a different committee for managers, but he got 100% of the vote. It won the greatest to ever do it. There'll never be another like him. There will never be another character like Bobby Cox. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his left. They're going to send 4. Tamu flushed out to the right side, now looking to throw on the run. Pump fake, fires, and caught at the 41-yard line on the right side. Mason Fairchild makes the grab. Well, that's true, Kuja, but a lot of them used, it was a lot for steroids and whatnot. That is true. A lot of that was drug usage or whatnot. Gain of 13. Back-to-back third down conversions by Tamu. Good throw on the run. Back to his left now is Jackson. Hand over the middle, and Jackson will get 4. He's thrown down the play by Travis Bell, number 98. 2nd and 6. Back to his right is Jackson. They're going to take off the tight end, Briley Moore. Trips to the bottom of the screen. No one at the top. Tamu in the gun. Louisville going to send 5. Screen pass behind the line. It's not a great throw. It's behind his receiver. But good adjustment there made behind the line by Izukama, the former Dolphin and Texas Tech wideout. And he'll get the first down, gain of 8. Well, I think they should, Cujo. There's a lot of guys that should be in. I think the crazy one, like Jim Edmonds is a guy that I think would be in anyone else's Hall of Fame. But for baseball, he's not. And I think he should be. All the 47. Yohan Santana's another one. Like Felix Hernandez and Yohan Santana, very similar eras, same eras, and very similar numbers. And Felix is going to get in. Yohan was off the first ballot. So, I agree with you there. 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Jackson. Play action. Tamu fires another swing to Ezunkama on the near side, and that's a first down. Back-to-back swings to Ezunkama, getting him in open space. Oh, Felix is going to get in. Felix is 100% getting in. Felix is getting in. He's way ahead of schedule. His second ballot, he was on 46%. Felix is going to get in. He was on 46% of the ballots the second year. He's way ahead of schedule. Yeah, Mattingly, yep. Hernandez, Keith Hernandez should be as well. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his left. Hand off to Jackson at the middle, gain of 1. Yeah, basketball should be more strict. Yeah, basketball's kind of insane. Though even basketball, Reggie Miller didn't make it first ballot, which is like, huh? How's that happening? You have a lot of, like, if you have 46% for 2 years, you're getting in. Yeah, it's still ridiculous that 54% looked at Felix and was like, he's not a Hall of Famer. But he'll go up. I think in the next 4 years, he's in the Hall of Fame. Bengals ever apologize? No. They send 4. Tamu, flushed out to the right side. No, the Bengals, Mike Brown doesn't apologize. Flushed out to the right side. He's going to eat the sack. He's going to lose 2. You can't throw a perfect game and not make the Hall unless you're roid up or a Predator. I mean, Domingo Hermano threw a perfect game. He does not make the Hall. Richard 8% of the first round ballot? Yeah. No, Felix should be in. I agree with you on that one. I mean, Dallas Braden. He's on the Hall. He'll never get in the Hall. 1 at the top, 3 at the bottom. Back to his left. They'll send 5. Tamu. Stepping up, middle of the field, low throw, but caught at the 23-yard line. Another third down conversion, and it's Cornell Powell making the grab. Gain of 16 and a first. Basketball is so loose when shop if they decide once LeBron retires to change to 1 year. I wouldn't have a problem with that one. Actually, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Hamels, yeah, I don't think he's getting in. Rollins, yeah, I don't think he's going to get in. Yeah, baseball's pretty strict. The NFL does it right. Well, it used to do it right. Now it's almost too strict with how their voting system is now. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his right. Could be the final play for the 2-minute warning. Up the middle, nothing doing as Smith got to take it down to the 20-yard line. They're in the red zone here. 2nd and 9. San Fran max win on primetime games allowed. Fact. 100% fact. So 2nd and 9 when we get back here. 2-minute warning. Good drive for DC starting at the 25-yard line. I mean, the NFL, like, people, like, the votes get cannibalized. The votes get completely cannibalized. I'm not even talking about Belichick. I'm not even talking about that. I mean, the votes are going to get cannibalized. Like, you're going to have next year on the ballot, you're going to have Adrian Peterson on the ballot, Richard Sherman, Rob Gronkowski, Ben Roethlisberger, and I guarantee you 2 of them are not getting in. I'm not even talking about that, Cujo. Like, next year, Richard Sherman is a Hall of Famer. Big Ben's a Hall of Famer. Rob Gronkowski is a Hall of Famer. Adrian Peterson is a Hall of Famer. I think we'd all agree on that. All 4 of them are Hall of Fame players. 2 of them are not making it in next year. They're on the ballot for the first time. 2 of them... No. I'm not... That's a different committee. That's a completely different committee. That's a different committee. Seahawks Niners Christmas? That'd be a fun matchup. Right, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about that's a different committee. That's true. They will eventually get in. But there's still some guys like... like Ken Anderson. I'm not sure he's ever getting in. There's still some guys that get passed over. I mean, I think first ballot, I think it will be Gronk and Peterson for first ballot. But, like, there's no one, like you know how I did the thing with Drew Brees last year where it's like, okay, like, I will bet anything you want. I'm not making a bet like that this year. I'm not making a bet like that this year because I truly don't know. I truly don't know who they're going to pick of those 4. Yeah, convert one of the practice squad receivers to cornerback. It's a good move because obviously here they're not going to make it as a receiver. They got so much depth at receiver. Yeah, I think Sherman and Ben bumped out at first ballot and it's going to be Gronk and Peterson. I agree with you. But it's not like a lock. It's not like a complete lock. Well, AP, I'm not sure they're going to hold it against him. AP, I'm not sure that they'll hold the... It's obviously what happened off the field with him. How should we have voters for that? But what about, then Peterson? Gronk, I think, is the only one that I'm confident on. But even that, Jason Witten didn't make it the first ballot. He didn't make the top 8. One of the top 2 at the bottom. Play action. Screen pass. High throw on the right side. Looking for Jackson. Incomplete. 3rd and 9. Stops the clock. Regular clock rules apply inside 2 minutes. Third and 9. I mean, Witten's got... I mean, he's got, like, the most receptions by a tight end. Yeah, Jacoby, yeah, he's another one. Part of that Hogs line, he should be. Yeah, Jim Marshall should be in. One of the top 2 at the bottom. Pump fake. Tamu now looks near side. Caught at the 5-yard line and then into the end zone. Touchdown. Ty Scott. Great Scott on that one. Tamu perfect on 3rd down that drive, and Ty Scott off the pump fake. Gets it to go. Oh, Roethlisberger's not borderline. Roethlisberger's a Hall of Famer. Roethlisberger is 100,000% a Hall of Famer. The only question is, did Scott step out of bounds? I don't think he did. He's working on a hole in the coverage. I don't know, because Witten was always like a top 3 tight end. Gore was never a top 3 running back. But Witten was always a top 3 tight end. If you ask Eagles fans, he was always open on 3rd down. Big Ben's not borderline. Yep, shake for the snake. Yep, I love it. Big Ben's not borderline. He's got the numbers. Everyone with 3 Super Bowl appearances is in. 2 rings. Everyone's in except for Eli so far, and he'll get in at some point. And Plunkett. And Big Ben's got the accolades. And he's made 3. Everyone with 3 appearances is in. Extra point is good. 13-3. You know, Wynn's not going to... I don't think Wynn's getting in for a bit. Because he didn't even make top 8 this year. Yeah, 28, Brady and Watt are first ballot. Yeah. Yeah, Brady and Watt, there's no universe they're not first ballot. Yeah, Brady's first ballot, Watt's first ballot. Guaranteed. Like, that one I'll bet any sort of money. Yeah, that one I will bet. I think I already did. I already actually made a bet with that. You know, I do have a $20 bet on that. On Brady first ballot. M. Stars over for 27 months now. Let's go defenders. So far, so good. Back-to-back touchdown drives. Back-to-back passes by Tamu and Ty Scott. Yeah, it's a go. Appreciate you, M. Stars, on that one. So far, so good for the best team in the UFL. Yeah, Brady's first ballot. Watt was too unreliable with injuries to be first ballot. He won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Watt is one of the greatest defenders in the history of the sport. Oh, I agree that Gates is better than Wynn. I do agree with that. What would it take for Garrett to not be first ballot? Oh, at this point, I think like murdering someone. Myles Garrett's first ballot. Yeah, he had injuries. He could have been better for a longer time, but Watt's guaranteed first ballot. J.J. Watt was close to winning MVP. In a league where MVP is a quarterback award, J.J. Watt put up a legitimate case for MVP. He won 3 Defensive Player of the Year honors. And that puts you up with Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White. Watt is easy first ballot. No, Myles Garrett. Not Jason Garrett. Not Jason Garrett. I assumed he meant Myles Garrett. No, Jason Garrett's first ballot Hall of Fame clapper. I assume he meant Myles Garrett on that one. Right, more people say Watt's that Hall. Yeah, believe me, we have to face him twice a year now. Yeah. But then people forget because of the injuries how good Watt was. You know, Myles Garrett, not Jason Garrett. No one's arguing Jason Garrett. I'm assuming no one's arguing Jason Garrett. I'm assuming that. All right, kickoff here, 1:44 to go. Or 1:50 to go, I should say. Yeah, Myles Garrett, yeah. Field at the 5-yard line, take it to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and brought down at the 33-yard line. Then dive ahead to the 35, so decent start field position for Louisville here. Louisville gets the ball to start the second half, so a chance to double dip here if they play their cards right. Down by 10 when 3 and out last time. Who's the next one? I mean, Sterling worked for the Braves for a bit. John Sterling was the announcer for the Braves. That's a bubble screen to the far side that's caught, gain of just 1 to the 35-yard line. Brosmer, yeah, Brosmer's first ballot. Yes, easily. He's got a better record on Christmas than a bunch of quarterbacks. John Elway never won a game on Christmas. Max Brosmer did, so. Injured player, meanwhile, Bryce Thompson for the defenders, the injured player. He's on the sideline right now. He'll have to limp off. Yes, Sterling was, yep. It comes in 3s. That's the 3. Yeah, you're not kidding on that one, could you? That's the 3. So Thompson will be tended to, and DC's got no timeouts left. So DC cannot stop the clock to try to get the ball back. I wonder if that changes how Louisville plays this if they get stopped here on second down. Then Marv Levy used to coach for the Braves for a little bit. If you know, you know. 2nd and 8. On the top, to the bottom, back to his left. Rodgers in the gun, takes a snap, they're going to send 4. Rodgers, clean pocket, seam route, down the far near sideline, and somehow hauled in at the 31-yard line. What a grab by Winstead, with a man draped all over him. Do you think they cover -10? They can't run the ball that well. I'm not sure they're going to cover. I'm not sure they cover. Ball at the 31-yard line. Right in the bucket. They go quick. Rodgers, middle of the field, almost intercepted. Didn't see the linebacker dropping in coverage. And fortunate for Rodgers, it wasn't picked off. And doing some push-ups after that one. Brandon Smith. Drop a pick, do some push-ups. That was right in his hands. That could have been 6. Threw it right at him. And he had a chance to go. That had a chance to be pick 6 territory. In and out of Smith's hands. Dropping back in coverage. To the top, one the bottom, back to his right here. Rogers in the gun. They got 6 in the box right now. 3 wide. All their timeouts. Rogers takes it. They're going to send 4 with a spy. Rogers, middle of the field, incomplete. Broken up by Conley. 3rd and 10. And if you don't get this, remember, DC has no timeouts. They had to burn 1 off the injury, and then 2 they burned on offense. With the play clock winding down. Is there any part of you that considers running the ball here? On a draw play, you get 3, make it a 1-score game. You guarantee the fact DC can't touch it again. So you're playing with fire if this is incomplete. They're going to throw. Rogers, stepping up, trying to over the sack and does. He's going to take off and run, and then jacked up! What a hit! Ball's out! Who's got it? DC's got it! Oh my goodness! Oh my God! Initial ruling was DC has the ball. Louisville is adamant they have it. But, oh my goodness! No, I haven't seen him comment, Nick. I haven't seen him comment. Oh my goodness! Yeah, Raleigh after the World Baseball Classic. That was an easy drop-off. That's a jacked-up moment. Helmet comes off for Izunkama. Teams are going at it right now. Still no ruling whose ball it is. Rogers just blindsided from behind. Clean hit, too. He's a runner at that point. That's a jacked up with Derek Roberson on the hit. Most likely repeat? Ooh. Rank the division winners most likely to repeat. That was incredible. Man. All right, so you have Patriots. You have Steelers. Steelers are 8. Just put the Steelers at 8 right now. Steelers, they're in the 8th spot. Panthers, I'm going to put at 7. But Broncos, well, that division's tough. Now flag flies afterwards. We still don't even know whose ball it is. Okay, let me think about this one. I'm going to put Broncos at 1. So we're going to get a flag afterwards. The Eagles are up there, yeah. Broncos are 1. I'm going to put Jaguars at 2. I'm going to go Eagles at 3. Pats at 4. Well, I don't know who. Well, I'm putting Pittsburgh at 8. I'm putting the Panthers at 7. The Bears at 6. Yeah, it's more about the Chargers. I'm not worried about the Chiefs necessarily. It's the Chargers. So I get a flag afterwards. And again, we're still sorting this out. They're going to get a flag on DC. It's still Louisville ball. They're going to get unsportsmanlike conduct afterwards, so we'll remain Louisville ball at the 16-yard line. A new set of downs. A completely clean hit. He was a runner. That was a phenomenal play by Roberson. Intentions flare afterwards, and they'll get DC after that. So Louisville's going to retain the ball here. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his right. They will motion Winstead over to the top of the screen now. Rogers takes it. They're going to send 4. Rogers, pump fake. Now rolls out to the near side. Flushed out. Flag flies. And I'll throw that ball into the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Broken up by Heem. Azizi Heem on the stop. We do have a flag. I'm not sure where on the field the flag flew. It's going to be offside on DC, so that was a free play. So back-to-back penalties on DC, moving up to the 12-yard line. 1st and 5. We'll get Roberson on that one. With a hit earlier. All good, Michael, on that one. All good there. Trips to the top of the screen, back to his right. Hopefully it went well. Rodgers takes it. They're going to send 4. Rodgers looking, hitch route. That's caught him on the field at the 5-yard line, down at the 4. Catch made by Winstead once again. Gain of 8. And Louisville's going to, I believe, burn their first timeout. Again, DC's got none left. It's an early timeout to take. If you score here, DC's got time. I would let it run to at least 28 seconds for burning the timeout. That's a really early timeout to take in that spot. So you don't want to give DC the ball back. You want to take advantage of this 2-for-1 opportunity. Broncos from the AFC again. Next year, team is coming back intact with Swaddle. Chiefs got bad and will be worse. Chargers are always frauds. Vegas will be improved. Might finish with a better record than KC. I mean, the AFC West, yeah. I mean, the AFC West. I don't know the AFC. I mean, the Bills, you never know with Josh Allen. Texans, as long as Stroud doesn't suck. The Ravens are in a good spot. Surprise isn't nice. Trips the bottom of the screen. Back to his right. False start. They're going to get on the right tackle. Final score prediction right now. DC 27, Louisville 16. That's my prediction. 1 Jaguars, 2 Pats, 3 Eagles, 4 Broncos. Oh, I'd swap the Pats with the Broncos. I'd swap that. 5 Seahawks, 6 Bears, 7 Panthers, 8 Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers have to be dead last. The Steelers are not winning that division this year. Trips to the bottom of the screen, back to his left. Yeah, I gotta check who the favorites are. They're gonna send 5. The Jets are the favorite. Rodgers back of the end zone on the near side. That's caught. On the corner route on the near side. Touchdown. Tariq Black. TB with the TD. And Louisville cuts it to a 1-score game. They left some time on the clock for DC. And we do have the leg of Matt McCrane, who can hit from 60 plus. So I think they called him out a bit too early. Still a nice corner route there, and Louisville answers after 13 straight points for the defenders. Large wager on Pats under 9.5 wins. Ooh, wow. Let me check the odds. The favorites. In the AFC, Baltimore's the favorite, actually. Baltimore's the favorite. Bills are second. Chargers, Chiefs, Patriots, Texans. Broncos are 7th. Extra point is good. 13-10. It's actually funny. The Broncos are 7th. 7th favorite. They're plus 1,000. Jaguars are plus 1,200. They're 9th. The Jaguars are actually in the bottom half. The Bengals have higher odds. So 13-10. DC's got no timeouts, but they do get the ball back. Yeah, take the one. Yeah, they're plus 1,000. 10-1 odds. It's not terrible, actually. That is not terrible. Yeah, Bo Nix is going to be back. Yeah, Bo Nix should be back. Yeah, Jags and Broncos disrespected big time there. Yep. Big time. Yeah, Nick's going to be fine. Mahomes, I mean, he's practicing. Oh, that sucks, Summer. He's practicing. Somehow. I don't know how. If you like what you see, folks, hit the like button, subscribe. 13-10 your score. Right? Is he running? Yeah, that's the thing. He's not running yet. Based on Nick's injury right now, if week 1 was today, he would start. Fiction. He wouldn't start today. Cards and favorites have the worst record? That does not surprise me. Seeing how much that team stinks. Seeing how they have no quarterback. And seeing how they're in a division where yeah, 3 of the top 3 teams in the NFL might all reside in that division. I don't think that's crazy to say. The top 3 teams in the NFL all reside in that division. Like, they're probably going to have 6 losses in the division. Like, if you have Cardinals 1.5 wins in the division, you're taking the under, right? Is anyone taking the over on that? Cardinals over under 1.5 wins in the division. You're gonna take the under. Even 0.5, I might take the under. Even if it's will they win a game in the division, I'm not sure they do. So I get it. 6 losses guaranteed. Or close to it, at least. Kickoff returns to the 20, spins ahead down at the 24-yard line. That's where DC will start this drive. To my elbow playing self. Oof. The 8 last place finishers, most to least likely to make it. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go with Cardinals are last. Jets are second to last. Just get that out of the way right now. Cardinals and Jets, you tie them basically. Put them in a tie. First, I put the Saints. Or no, wait, to make the playoffs? Oh, wait, to make the playoffs versus Lions. Make the playoffs versus Lions. Second, Saints. Third, Giants. Fourth, Titans. Fifth, Raiders. Sixth, Browns. And then tied at the end. Tamu, out route to the near side. That's caught. Can he get out of bounds? He can. Stops the clock at the 31-yard line. Gain of 9 for Zukama. Third grab of the quarter for him. The cards in 7 give LaFleur coach of the year, yes. My card's still listed for you. Bill Salvin's why I don't say all 6 for now. It makes sense. 2nd and 1. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Back to his right here. Takes a snap. They're going to send forward. Tamu, pump fake on the quick out route to the far side. Now flushed out. Fires on the run. Deep shot. Has a step. Caught at the 25. Powell. He's in bounds at the 20, I think. No, they're going to say he went out of bounds. They're going to say he went out of bounds. But Cornell Powell gets free down the field on the deep crosser. Gets behind Kubica. Ravens just the playoffs have the favorites win the AFC. New coach. Division sucks. They're going to spike it down with 14 seconds. Brings up 2nd and 10. They forget Max went back to Vegas. So they got Trey Hendrickson. Jesse Minter. People are high on Minter. Lamar Jackson. That division's not good. They started 1-5 last year. They started like crap and then bounced back. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Well, they got Hendrickson. Flag flies. False start. Back it up 5 yards. 2nd and 15. Just cannot have this ball be in bounds. It's the one thing for DC. You have no timeouts, so anything in bounds is going to end the half. First down would not end the half because the clock would stop to reset. Makes sense on that one, Isaac. Makes sense. I think I'm going to take the Ravens from the AFC, but I don't know yet. I don't know just yet. You have Titans as the top to do it. I would not put the Titans that high just yet. I put the Lions at the top. I mean, they had a winning record the last 4 years. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, back to his right. Now they're going to motion to the bottom of the screen, Powell. They're going to send 6. Tamu can't get sacked, and he's going to. The one thing you couldn't do, and that's going to end the half. The one thing you couldn't do. Jordan Tamu gets sacked. Just no awareness there whatsoever. And that will end the half. 13-10, your halftime score. A brain fart by Tamu with the pocket collapsing. Could not get rid of that football. We go to the halftime break. 13-10 DC. Only up by 3. I'll put up Pulp who wins this one. Well, 2026 continue the 13-year thing. We will see. Right, no, to be a wild card, right. Yeah, to be a wild card. I think Ward has a pretty solid year. It depends on coming back from the injury. Really, time to try to make a play. I mean, 14 seconds, you have time for play. Just can't get sacked. You have time for play with 14 seconds. 6 seconds, I would agree. At 14, I'm fine going for the end zone there. But just couldn't get it done. Could not get it done. So we will go to the halftime break here. 13-10 your score. A brain fart by Tamu. Been an interesting game to say the least. Some uncharacteristic mistakes. Tamu with the sack. Going back to back. We'll see on that one, crazy. So far, so good this season. This has not been a great game for them. They're not running the ball well. They're not running it well at all. That makes sense. That makes sense. They're not running it well at all. Tamu's getting pressured. McCrane missed a field goal. Rodgers looked sharp. It's definitely not as smooth sailing as the other games. Yeah, 51 mil rookie deal, not surprised. Everything is, with rookie wage scale, everything is pretty much set in stone. So there's nothing surprising with these moves. There's nothing too surprising. Yeah, Cards will get nothing. Cards will get no primetime game. Unless they get, like, one of the crap Monday night games. Other than, like, a crap Monday night game, they're not going to get anything. Alright, let's go with this. So you go to Prize Picks, use my code H, you may play 5, get 50 instantly. This is what I'm going with today. Wait a second. Steelers gonna get a lot. Oh my god, Steelers gonna get a lot. So I'm going with today. I'm going with LeBron and Holmgren. 27 PRA and LeBron 22.5. That's what I'm going with today. For that. 20 to win 60. That's what I'm going with. You need to give Taylor back? Yep. Yes, you do. The Seahawks are going to get the max. Seahawks are getting like a crap ton of games. Yeah, Raiders, they'll get a couple. Raiders are going to get a couple. Yeah, I'm not sure what is with him. Yeah, Raiders, not just because of Mendoza, they're also a pretty big team in terms of fan base, so they'll get some games. I could see 3. I think 3 for the Raiders. Jets will get some because of New York. I'm not sure. I think they'll get like 2. But no one really wants to see the Jets right now. Like, the Giants are going to get a lot. I think people are interested in the Giants right now, but I'm not sure about the Jets. Titans, I don't know. They're not a big team fan base wise. They didn't get any primetime games last year. I'm not sure about the Titans. They might get 1. I'm not so sure about the Titans. So you have 13-10 your halftime score. Here's some halftime stats for you while we have this moment. It may still likely be the Ranch, or it could be the Fox National 425. Yep. It's going to be one of the two. Yeah, Seahawks Pats will be either National 425 or will be a primetime game. Chandler Rogers, 8 for 12 with 104 yards. That touchdown he threw at the end of the half was the first touchdown pass he threw all season. Ran the ball well so far, 4.5 yards per carry. DC struggling a bit on the ground, under 4 yards a carry. Tamu, 13 for 18 with 266 yards passing already. Saw him paced for the UFL record for a single game. He says some deep completions. Powell, a 54-yard grab. Antonio, an 81-yard grab. No turnovers for either side. Both teams missing a field goal. Schedule release 8 o'clock Eastern, so 6 Mountain. Yeah, 6 Mountain. But 80% is going to get leaked beforehand. Max for primetime, 6. Yeah, 6 is the 5 or 6 is the max. I don't know how many the Jaguars are going to get, because obviously the Jaguars with the stadium renovations, I'm not sure how many games they're going to want to play in Jacksonville. So they'll have to bring in lighting for that. Have to bring additional lighting because they're working on the stadium. Plus, they got 2 games there nationally. They'll be nationally televised, so I don't know how many the Jaguars get, but they did win 13 last year. You have $83 million left for running back. Yep. That's the danger of taking a running back top 5, and that's why it doesn't make a lot of sense to take a running back top 5 unless you're truly a running back away. That's why I'm confused by what the Cardinals did. That's why I'm extremely confused by what the Cardinals did. Because you signed Algier, you knew Love was going to be on the board, so it made no sense. Bobby Cox, absolute legend. One of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever do it. Yeah, rough week for the Braves. So we're at halftime here. Louisville's going to get it back. The Cards learned nothing from Genty? Yep. Apparently not. Apparently not. He did. He did, Cujo. Somehow. No, lines do not buyer's remorse. No, they do not. No, not at all. Not at all. No, Gibbs is a baller. Yep, Cavs Pistons just started. Just getting underway there. We're going to get the second half underway in just a little bit here as well. Over on Fox. So the Beer Snake is growing at Audi Field. And DC looking to clinch a playoff spot. And when they're 6th straight game, they're up by 3. Louisville's going to start with the ball when we get back here. All right, let's do this thing. 79% run with DC to win this one. And hold on to their 3-point halftime lead. If you like what you see, hit that like button, subscribe. It does go a long way. Helps out a ton here as we try to grow this community even more. We're going to do OT later tonight around, I'd say, 10 o'clock Eastern, whenever I get back from the D-backs game. Kickoff here, fielded at the 10-yard line. Here we go, taking to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Breaks a tackle at the 35, and a good return down to the 39-yard line goes Wheeler. That's where Louisville's going to start this drive. Good first half for Rogers, all things considered. Maybe his best half of the season. Looked pretty clean and composed back there. Took a shot earlier in that, but bounced back with a nice throw on the corner route for a touchdown, his first of the season. Louisville ball at the 39-yard line here. Robinson in the backfield. He led the way in rushing yards for Louisville in that first half. Trips it on the screen. Play action. Rogers rolls out, fires out route to the near side. That's caught. And there is a flag on the play. As things stand, gain of 10 should be enough for the first at midfield, but we'll see what the call is here. Rodgers is moving backwards, so early indications that this is one's on Louisville. Took too long to develop, might be an eligible man, and it is. An eligible man downfield, so backing up 5 yards, 1st and 15. Took too long to develop. There was a guy down the field before the out route. So 1st and 15. Robinson did not play after that opening drive, but he's back out there. He's to his left. Trips to the bottom of the screen. Rogers in the gun. 4 on the line. Rogers. Pump fake now looks hitched. Middle of the field. That's caught. And they'll get the yardage back they lost on the ineligible man downfield after a gain of 5 on the hitch route. Middle of the field. Caught by number 84, Zach Davidson. The tight end, his first grab of the day. Brings up 2nd and 10. Dallas just beat Indiana. Wow. I think a lot of people saw that one coming. Everyone's saying the Texans lost to Hopkins trade bigly, but no one won that. No, the Cardinals won that one. Hopkins was good for them. David Johnson sucked with the Texans. No, the Cardinals won that trade easily. One of the top 2 of the bomb back to his left. They're going to send 4. Rogers looks, middle of the field, wide open, caught. First down across the 50 to the 42-yard line goes Winstead. 2 straight completions for Rogers to start this drive, and Louisville's moving the ball nicely. Harris got rid of that one quickly with Roberson collapsing in on him. That's not the only way to evaluate a trade. I mean, Johnson did nothing with the Texans. Hopkins was good with the Cardinals. One of the top 2 of the bomb back to his right. And a call a sweep play on the far side of Robinson. Robinson with a hurdle at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 3. James Robinson going up for that one. Just hopping over Gary and Conley. Oh, 1.3. Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, man. Okay. 2nd and 3. Back to his left is Robinson once again. Rogers in the gun. One of the top 2 of the bottom. Louisville with a double dip opportunity here. They're going to send 4. Middle of the field. That's caught on the hitch. Been killing on the hitch route so far. DC, no answers for that. Gain of 8 and a first to the 27-yard line. So the soft spot in the zone there was Lucky Jackson against his old team. Back to his right, trips to the bottom of the screen. And they're going to motion Robinson to his left. 6 on the play clock. Rogers in the gun. DC showing blitz. They're going to hand off to Robinson. He's going to get nothing on the play. He'll be brought down to 26-yard line, we'll say. Gain of 1. 2nd and 9. One of the few times they've stopped Robinson so far today. 2nd and 9. Rogers sharp so far this drive. 3 for 3. A couple of first down throws. Do I especially double dipping more, putting the food through 2 sauces, or putting it back in the sauce after taking a bite? Putting the food through 2 sauces. One of the top 2 of the bottom. Yeah, it's the first one. Putting it through 2 sauces. Back to his left. They're going to send 5. Rogers, slam pass, caught, but minimal gain of 2. Tariq Black. 3rd and 7. 4 for 4 this drive. Rogers entered this game completing under 60% of his passes. He's 12 for 16 today. And Dallas with the win, man. Did not see that coming. To the top, on the bottom. Back to his right is Robinson. Rogers in the gun. They're going to send 5. Rogers. Pressured. Has to get rid of it. He's sacked. Thrown down the 33-yard line by Casey Rogers. Chandler Rogers brought down by Casey Rogers. 4th down. The field unit's going to come out to try and tie this ball game up from 50-plus yards away. Pressure up the middle. Derek Parrish forcing some pressure up the A-gap. And then Casey Rogers comes in to finish him off. 49-yard try to be exact. Brown is 1 for 2 today. And this one, from 49, is right down the middle. And we are all tied up. Oh, the YouTube scamming thing? Yes. Oh, my God, yes. Yeah, that's obviously highly illegal. With the Robux and the... And it's the same user every time, and it's not even live. Yep. Oregon legend Casey Rogers. There you go. 13 all. So Louisville down by 10. They double dip. They get 10 points. Who's currently winning the Parsons trade? Currently? Man, currently, I would say it's the Packers. I would say the Packers won that trade. Currently. Nice bounce back by Brown after missing his first kick. He's made his last two. So I'm retiring a number for him. I mean, to be fair, with that number, Lambeau barely wore that number. Like, Lambeau's number's not retired for what he did as a player. Like, Lambeau wore 5 different numbers in his career. Yeah, first team to start 8-0. I think they're going to do it. With the way the Flyers looked, I think they're going to do it. Lambeau wore 5 different numbers in his career. Like, this is not like they're retiring Peyton Manning's number or something like that. Curly Lambeau is never even a first-team All-Pro. He's there because of what he did as an executive, as a coach. He's not there because of what he did as a player. He wore the number 1 for half of his career with the Packers. Not even half of his career. But that's one of those I'm okay with. Pacific and Parsons will look kind of weird. I can't imagine Parsons wearing a number of the 70s. You know, I don't blame me on that one. Summer. 13-all. 10 straight points for the Kings. You got a good one here at Audi. Kickoff here, fielded at the 6-yard line. Taken to the 10, 15-20, up the middle, 25-30, some space to the 35-40. Trucks ahead to the 45, breaks another one. Ezukama, ball's down at the end. Louisville's got it. Ezukama did a bit too much on that one. Down to the 45-yard line of Louisville. But then the ball came out and Louisville fell on it first. Unless they lost it in the pile-up, I think that's Louisville football. Ezukama lost the handle. Tried to break one tackle too many. And Louisville was the first to fall on it. I think it will be Louisville football, and it is. As Hall comes out of that pile with the ball. From bad to worse for DC right now. It's a fumble forced by number 85, Jalen Weidermeyer. Louisville ball at the 45. And DC's now officially on upset alert. Cowboys are the Arsenal in the NFL? Yes, they are. It could be Mr. Elvin. It could be. I like when I pick a unique number. I do like that. Just a good old-fashioned peanut punch. And Louisville going to get another possession here. Trips the bomb the screen back to his right. Rogers in the gun. DC in some trouble right now. We're all tied up. Takes the snap. They'll send 4. Hand off on the sweep. Has some space to the 40 and down to the 34-yard line. Ian Wheeler gets into plus territory after just one play. It's a gain of 22 yards and a first. Marner's good, yep. This DC defense is a bit gassed right now. Been on the field a lot as of late. It's everybody for Yankees and Lakers fans, yep. Back to his right. One of the top, 3 at the bottom. Rogers in the gun. takes it. They'll send 4. Pressure off the edge. Rogers, screen pass, caught by Robinson, breaks a tackle, gets a second, and he's got a first down the 20-yard line, spins out of trouble, and he'll keep going to the 15. Robinson down to the 13. No one can bring him down. Looking like his days in Jacksonville right there. Deontay Anderson finally brings him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 23 on the screen, and Louisville's in the red zone. Nice job by Rogers there with the pressure off the edge forced by Sam Kidd. And James Robinson making everyone miss the spin move to get by Derek Roberson. One at the top, 2 to the bottom, back to his left. Rogers in the gun in the red zone. Play action, flats open, but he's going to take off and run for it to the 10, and he'll dive out of bounds to the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Am I almost going to be like Sam Darnold all over again? I don't know about that. No, nothing wrong with the Cowboys. Nothing happened with the Cowboys. So it's just time for both parties to move on. The Leafs had to blow it up. Very different than Darnold. 2nd and 2. Back to his left is Robertson. James Robinson in the backfield, 2 at the top of the screen. 1 at the bottom. Rogers in the gun, takes a snap. Play action. Slam pass, open, caught. Louisville's in front. Middle of the field, wide open. Is Tariq Black for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Rogers perfect so far to start the quarter. And Louisville is in front. Off the fumble by Ezunkama. Louisville scored the last 16 points. And that's Rogers' 2nd touchdown pass of the day to Black. Seemed like everyone was penciling in DC to win this game and win the league. Louisville coming in saying, not so fast, my friend. Bouncing back from that loss to St. Louis, who looked lethargic on offense. Not so much today. Extra point is good. 20-13. And Louisville up by 7. Both their wins this year have come on the road. Looking to get a 3rd. We picked a great game to do. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So 2013, your score. DC in some trouble right now. They couldn't even win at home against during Derby week, but they'd be the best team the week after. Yeah, this league is wild this year. I saw that club, yes. I saw that club, yes. Yeah, that was a couple months ago, yeah. So 20-13 your score. DC, no possession so far this half with Tamu on the field. Ezunkama fumbled the kickoff at the 45-yard line last time. And that sack is looming large right now for DC. DC was in the red zone with 14 seconds left and no timeouts. So one thing you couldn't do was take a sack. Tamu took a sack. They left 3 points on the board. They left 3 off the board with a missed field goal by McCrane. And then they went for 2 instead of going for 1. They've left 7 or 8 points on the board so far. And DC not looking sharp. Kickoff fielded at the 3-yard line. It's a good kick. Taken to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and diving ahead to the 33-yard line. 2 hands on the ball this time. Ty Scott on the return. But Scott comes up a little bit limp after that one. So ball to 33. We'll see what Tamu Company can do after he threw for 266 yards in that first half, including 2 completions of 50+. How the UFL get that back? We have to use the trademark. You have to use it. Sweep play here to the near side to the 35 and down to the 37. And also, the defenders were never defunct. They were just put on hiatus. So the defenders were never a defunct franchise. Jackson gets 4. How's it going, David? Appreciate you being here. Because the defenders existed in 2020. They hadn't even changed the name at that point. Second down. We have an injured player on the field, and for Louisville, it's one of the big defensive linemen, Travis Bell, number 98. Looks to be the injured player. So I'll step aside for the moment, go to commercial break. 2nd and 6 when we get back. Why is CC losing this team? Yeah, Chandler Rogers looks good today. They're not running the ball well. They're not stopping James Robinson. And they're leaving some points on the board. Special teams play has not been good for DC. They missed a field goal. They fumbled the ball on a kickoff. Yeah, DC's in some trouble right now, Dennis. DC is in some trouble. Yeah, I remember that one, Mr. I remember that one. Louisville has scored 17 straight points. DC finally in possession of the ball for the first time in over 35 minutes of real time. We'll see what they can do with it here. How's it going, Ron? I appreciate tuning in. I heard Sheep Detective is great. I heard The Sheep Detective is a really good movie. Yeah, Bobby Cox, absolute legend. Absolute legend. One of the greatest to ever do it. You know, score here, the game is over the way the Kings are playing. I don't necessarily disagree. I think it's early to say it's over, but they got to get something here. 2nd down. Trips to the top of the screen, back to his right. DC going right to left. Handoff up the middle. Jackson stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing. 3rd and 5 at the 38-yard line. Tamu is not throwing the ball in about 40 minutes of real time. You probably argue Gallon got ejected. Yep. I think he got ejected like 162 times in his career. I got ejected for a full season. Trips to the top of the screen, back to his left. Tamu in the gun. Takes a snap. They'll send 4. Tamu looking. Clean pocket. Middle of the field. Behind his man. Incomplete. And they're going to go 3 and out. Cutie the target. They will go 3 and out. And DC in some serious trouble right now. 4th and 4. Brooks will punt away for the first time today. Their first drive in 35 minutes of real time results in a 3 and out. The punt here fielded at the 22. Fair catch called for and made by Jackson. DC's won 5 straight games undefeated on their home field. On the ropes here. Yeah, at the game they had a Frank fall contest where they like literally threw Franks from the roof of the stadium. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Rodgers has been perfect this quarter so far. Drive number 3 for Louisville this half. Back to his left, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Rodgers in the gun, takes the snap, play action, slant pass, and that's the first incompletion. Gary and Conley breaking that slant pass up, intended target Tariq Black. Brings up 2nd down. Rodgers in the gun once again. Ian Wheeler to his left, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Rodgers takes it. They'll send 3 this time. Has time. Middle of the field hitch route. Caught. They can't stop that hitch. They cannot stop the hitch route. Mortal Kombat 2. I heard that was just a fun movie. You know, I'm not crazy about what they're doing right now. ESPN's happy with inside the NBA? No, I don't think they are. They kind of buried it. I think you look at how other networks are covering the game and how they're embracing it, instead of the NBA's kind of bashing it. I don't think we're happy with it at all. 2 on the bottom of the screen, but Rodgers had to burn a timeout as the play clock was winding down, was not going to get that off in time. So Louisville's going to have 2 left. Kings are playing really good football right now. DC cannot stop the hitch route over the middle of the field. Yeah, he would have laughed at that one, yeah. Two at the top, 1 at the bottom. Back to his left, hand up the middle. And they'll get about 3 down to the 38-yard line, brought down on the play by Dennis Johnson. And Sheridan on the carry. Louisville, the worst team in the league running the ball this year, but doing all right today. They're staying on schedule, turning a lot of clock on these drives. My mouse is frozen. I don't know what happened to my mouse. Hang on. 2nd and 7. Rodgers, clean pocket. They'll send 4. Drag route behind his man, incomplete. It's one of the few times say Louisville's behind schedule. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. You know, it's not good right now, Dennis. is not looking good right now, but they have 3rd and 7 here. See if they can get a stop. They break the huddle with 9. Sheridan in the backfield. Rogers in the gun. They got 4 wide, 3 at the top, 1 at the bottom. 2 on the play clock. False start. The whole line moved. And they always seemed out of sorts on that one. They're going to back it up 5 as a result. So it's a miscommunication for Louisville. They had to burn a timeout earlier on this drive because they couldn't get off in time to avoid the play clock winding down. And now here a full start as the play clock was winding down. Cleveland up by 2 at the end of 1. Yep. 3rd and 12. America's Grown Pains character? Oh, okay. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Back to his right. Rogers takes it. They're going to send 4. Has plenty of time, just has to chuck that into the dirt. There was a designed screen pass, which last time went for a huge gain of over 20 yards. This time, DC reads it well, dropping guys back, and Rogers is just to chuck it into the dirt. And DC will force their 2nd punt of the game. So good stop there by the defenders. And Tamu's going to get the ball back. With the defenders down by 7. The punt here gets it off. Mac Brown. He fielded at the 19-yard line. It's Cutie. Up the middle to the 20, 25, and brought down at the 27-yard line. That's where the defenders will start this drive. When we get back here, 20-13 your score. What do you think of LiveStream game? They call it differently with OKC. It's not appealing basketball to watch. It's just not appealing basketball. Yeah, Bobby Cox, absolute legend on that one. Absolute legend, David. One of the greatest managers to ever do it. NFL style interest for big college games? No, not for those. Because I just don't have time because the gap between the games is so... the gap between the games is not enough. With 12, 3:30, and 7:30, like there's so much overlap in between. And also college footage is very hard to get through without copyright. I did not know that, Neil. No, I did not see that. I did not see that. That World Cup commercial is, yeah, it's odd. It is odd. So DC has not gone a first down in nearly an hour of real time. Been dominating as of late, but struggling today. The beer sink's not struggling. The beer sink's going pretty hard. Ball at the 27-yard line. 2 in the backfield, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom. You know, that game was a bit interesting with the refereeing. You know it's bad when Reddick is calling over the refs after the game. Half of the mill, that's going to get 9. Abram Smith. Well, they have to be biased toward the USA. I mean, I don't... You know, that was only in the, that was in live chat, not top chat. Yeah, if you're on live chat, you can see it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not in top chat, but it's in live chat. 2nd and 1, 2 of the backfield. Man, they got to appeal to the average USA fan. And USA, in the World Cup, USA on their home soil. 2nd and 1, they're going to throw in the flat, incomplete, low throw. Intended target there was Scott. You know, it's live chat versus stop chat. That's all it is. I've got live chat on, so I see everything. So 3rd and 1. You throw on second if you're going to run on 3rd. This might be 4-down territory. I know it's early, but obviously if you lose yards here, I'm not talking about that, but you're probably thinking, okay, you need to get 1 yard here. You got to get some sort of momentum offensively. They are going to run the... Oh, no, play action. That's broken up, and looking in the flat on the near side for Valladay. So back-to-back incompletions. 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1. They throw the ball, and Tom, who's 0 for 3 to start this quarter after having 266 yards in the first half. It's broken up at the line by Garo. 4th down, and we'll see what they decide to do. They're going to punt. I would, Keller. So they throw twice on 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1. I don't understand that at all. And back-to-back 3 and outs to start. Punt return to the 20. Breaks the tackle at 25 to the 30, down to the 32-yard line. Yeah, boys, go Team USA, yep. You gotta question the play calling there for DC. You need 1 yard, you throw twice, and then you punt down by 7. Questionable, to say the least. Hand off here to start, nothing doing. How's it go, Miles? Appreciate you being here. 2nd and 10. You know, I'm not crazy about the play calling on 2nd 1, 3rd and 1. I'm not crazy about it at all. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his right. Rogers in the gun. He'll send 5. Rogers steps up, middle of the field, open, caught the 45 to the 50. Flag on the play. Ball comes down at the end. There's a lot to sort out here. DC's got it across the 50. We got a lot to sort out. What's the call? Catch, fumble, DC ball, but who's the flag on? Rogers is staying on the field. He thinks this is going against DC. Personal foul, roughing the passer, and it is. 15-yard penalty, Louisville ball near midfield at the 47-yard line. Rogers took a shot late, high. The hit itself wasn't late, but it was high. And they're going to get him for it. They will get him for the high hit. Hit him in the helmet. Another turnover negated. Stays with Louisville here. Near midfield at the 47-yard line. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Back to his left. A stoppage here. You wonder if it's going to be a super challenge. You get 1 super challenge a game. You can challenge on anything, including penalties, but I don't know what that stoppage was. It's not a super challenge. Not sure what the stoppage was. Now we're back underway. 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his left. Rogers takes in the gun. They're going to send 4. Rogers, pressure off the edge. Sacked to the 39-yard line. Thrown down off the edge by Roberson. It's making his day a living nightmare right now. 2nd and 18. Roberson just gets around James Tunstall and throws him to the ground. Roberson's second leading sacker in the UFL this season. He's having his way with this Louisville offensive line right now. Final play of the quarter, 2nd and 18. You got to get this off. Play clock's winding down. They're not getting this off. Delay of game. Unless they got a timeout in time. They did get the timeout in time. So they're only going to have one left. Having trouble with the play clock today. This quarter, 2 timeouts with the play clock winding down and a false start with the play clock winding down. Let's make it 2nd and 18. And just 1 timeout left. So 5 seconds left in the quarter. One of the top, 2 of the bottom. Rogers, they'll send 5. Deep shot down the far sideline and incomplete. Connolly on the coverage was looking for Caden Prather, his first target of the day. Be 3rd and 18 when we get back. Louisville 15 minutes away from potentially pulling off the upset of the season. It was just a good team. They call the game a little bit differently with OKC. I will put a poll up. Who wins this one? So 20-13. Yeah, but cheeseburger and potato chips, drinking Mountain Dew. Yep, that is America for you. I'm watching baseball and enjoying some fireworks. Oh, watching football, yep. Yeah, I'm not trying to lose on purpose, but this is a weird game for DC. This is an off day for DC for sure. The 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1 pass, then punt. I'm confused by that. And then the sack that Tamu took, I mean, they're leaving points on the board today. This is a sloppy showing. Oh, doesn't average without the refs 15 points. No. No, I doubt that. How's it going, JB? Appreciate it tuning in on this Saturday. In 20-13, if you're just tuning in, gonna start the 4th quarter, 3rd and long coming up. Louisville is in a very good spot right now. DC, no first downs that third quarter. DC has not gotten a first down in over an hour of real time. Tamu's not completed a pass this quarter after throwing for 266 in the first half of the game. What happened to DC? Yeah, it's just been an off day for them. It's been a very off day for them. This would be one of the most shocking upsets in the history of the UFL if this holds. Like, I truly mean a shocking upset. DC, I think, was minus 700 to win this game. Third down, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom, back to his right. Rogers stepping up, fires, deep shot, incomplete over the middle of the field, was looking on the play for Black. He's got 2 touchdowns today, can't corral that one, high throw. And DC will get the stop. Liverpool and Chelsea, mad, yeah. The results today, yeah. Fulham is dead in the water at this point. The punt here, fielded at the 6-yard line, taken to the 10, and brought down at the 14-yard line. Just 8 yards on the return. And DC's going to take over inside their own 20. They're my favorites, yep. Could India have penalties imposed from the gambler Brandon Sorsby on the roster as he bet on the team? They could, yes. Yes, they could. Yeah, because that's illegal. That is illegal. You're starting one. That was a good point for them, yep. Cowboys, Seahawks, kickoff, Cowboys, Packers, Thursday night, week 11. Would not shock me. What do you think of those? Wait, Cowboys, Packers, Thursday night, week 11. No, they're not going to put week 11. Because Thanksgiving, and then they're going to put the Cowboys on the Thursday night game after Thanksgiving. They're not getting 3 straight Thursday games. Yeah, that was goalless. Yep. Tamu, play action, they'll send forward. Tamu looks middle of the field. Intercepted at the 20-yard line. Picked off over the middle. Keaton Ellis jumps it. And Tamu is over 4 this quarter, and Louisville is on the brink of going up by 2 scores. Keaton Ellis jumped the route. You don't wait on those. Yep, I'm right. What's confused? Betting on your team. Like, Sorsby was on the team, and he bet on them. It'll be 3 straight Thursdays? Thanksgiving. Unless I'm missing something. When's Thanksgiving this year? Louisville forces their second turnover of the half. It's Keaton Ellis jumping the route. Yeah, week 11, yeah, so week 12 is Thanksgiving. First shot going to the end zone, caught at the 1-yard line. On the post pattern on the right side of the field. You still can't do it. Don't be 2 straight. Well, they always do. So you have to remember, they always do for that first and goal at the 1 after the quarter route. Gain at 21. They're in the QB sneak formation. Play is blown dead. Remember that for Thanksgiving. Week 12 is Thanksgiving. Week 13, the Thursday night game, is always 2 of the 6 teams that played on Thanksgiving. Usually that's Cowboys. So they're not going to do 3 straight Thursday games. The Cowboys normally... It was Lucky Jackson feeling lucky on that one. Normally, it will be... They're showing this as USL Soccer? Oh, definitely not. Nope. Yeah, Stockport got a goal? Yes, it's LIVESTREAM. Yes, I saw that, yeah. Yeah, Tamu... I mean, he was good the first half. The second half has been a howler. The second half has been a nightmare. Like, 95% of the time, the Thursday night game the week after Thanksgiving is Cowboys. First and goal at the 1. Yasigos made a post about the Harriers. They posted about that one. Back to his right, in the gun this time. Not the QB sneak look. Handoff up the middle, untouched, Robinson. James Robinson, touchdown, and Louisville up by 2 scores. They were down by 10. They've scored the last, well, if they get the extra point, 24 straight points. And Louisville on the brink of pulling off the biggest upset in league history to stay alive in the playoff picture. 26-13. Extra point here by Brown. Snap is good. This one's right down the middle. 27-13. Taking advantage of 2 turnovers. You both said Teddy Parisi, get your bags. Yep, they're blowing it up. But I get to League 1? Yeah, I didn't see that. Did not see that. 27-13. At this point, all hands on deck for the Commanders if they want to keep first place. And top 4 teams in this league make the playoffs. Louisville right now on the outside looking in. Louisville on the outside looking in right now. But if they win this game, the way Dallas is struggling as of late, Louisville in command right now and looking to take it to the defenders. 3 drives for the defenders this half. No first downs. That'd be cool if they did, JP. That'd be cool. Fiction on that one. Tom, we still going to be the starter. You're not going to rock the boat after 1 loss. Who is second right now? St. Louis at 5-2. St. Louis is 5-2. They're in second. I did? Oh, my bad on that. If I did, my bad on that one. I didn't notice it if I did. Upset of the season? Upset of all time. This would be the biggest upset in UFL history. DC was minus 700. They were double-digit favorites. DC's won 5 straight. This is an expansion team against the clear-cut best team in the league, according to most. This would be the biggest upset in UFL history. Weather issues? Oh, man. League 1 final, all right, JP. 27-13. Celtic Raiders tomorrow. That's a big one. I say one of the biggest rivalries out there. Hearts. I want Hearts to do it. I want Hearts to do it so much. I want Hearts to win the league. 27-13. Can DC do anything here? They have not gotten a first down in about 70 minutes of real time. Kickoff bounces in the landing zone and fielded on a hop, return to the 22-yard line. Not a good return at all. Special teams for DC filling them. They let that ball bounce. There was a missed field goal, a fumble on a kickoff. Nothing's gone right for the defenders ever since taking that 10-point lead. You knew expansion. Yep, that arena does not look good. Like, why are the seats so far away? Like, that is not built for basketball. The fans bring it. The passions around it was crazy. To the top, to the bottom, Tamu. Out route, underthrown, incomplete on the far side, broken up by Antonio Greer. So looking for, I believe, has some comma on that one. Cell cards May 16th, that's going to be a massive game. And Jordan Tamu with 266 yards at the halftime break was on pace to set the record for the most yards thrown by any player in a game. He is still at 266 yards an hour later. They'll send forward. Tamu pressured. He'll get sacked at the 14-yard line. LaRon Stokes takes him down. 3rd and 18. Oh my goodness. From bad to worse for DC. They're moving backwards. Lamont clinched with second promotion and returns to League One. Good for them. Timeout on the field, injured player for DC. Dijon's promoted, all right. Yasir Durant, the offensive lineman, is down. Still sitting down. Florida, Kentucky pushed back today. Rainy day in Gainesville like last night, man. You see the Vanderbilt thing yesterday? With the fog and everything? That was nuts. Oh, I didn't see that, JP. I did not see that for Italy. Watching UFL because IndyCar comes on right after. All good. Hey, stream tomorrow before you make the call? Tomorrow beforehand? No. I don't think so. Depending on how I feel, I might do Arsenal West Ham, but I doubt it. Depends how I feel. Yeah, allow them to play in those conditions. That was a home run, too. That was 100% a home run. That was not a grand roll double. That was a home run. All right, back on our way here after the injury timeout. 3rd and 18. Yeah, I don't think we're doing anything tomorrow before you make the call. We might do Arsenal, but I'm not sure. One of the top two of the bomb back to his left. They'll send 4. Tamu, clean pocket, fires past the sticks. It's caught at the 35-yard line. Scott makes the grab, and that's their first down of the half. In over 70 minutes of real time. Gain of 24. Ty Scott over the middle. Bit of an underthrown ball, but he slides down to make the grab. And DC now with some rhythm offensively. They review the play even though we can't see anything reverse. Yep, makes sense. Trips to the top, one the bomb back to his left. Play action, slam middle of the field. Let's call it the 50. Tight end goes to the 45-yard line. First down for Mason Fairchild. Down at the 44. Says OT, I should be around for next stream. Next night. It's beautiful. Love it. Ball at the 44. Yeah, tonight's going to be around 10:30, if I had to guess. Trips Obama's screen back to his left here. And DC going left to right. Takes a snap, they'll send 4. Tamu fires in the flat on the far side. Jackson makes the grab out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Yamala just needs something. They need some momentum. 2nd and 2. They go quick to the line, no huddle offense. Tamu now over 300 yards passing. It's the 5th quarterback this season to throw for 300 in a game. Handoff here up the middle, nothing doing. 3rd and 2. Bronson on the takedown. The all-time record for most passing yards is 376, set by Austin Reed back in week 1. Tamu could get there. Make some history. Tackle there by Bronson. Stopping Deion Jackson at the middle. Back him in diapers. All good. Lamar's been playing like crap for a while now. We have an injury timeout. Jackson hobbles off to the sideline. It's 4-down territory here. Yeah, his future generations took a hit. Yep. Yeah, a little bit of activity to the jewels. So we'll step aside for the moment. And now 3rd and 2. And what is obvious 4-down territory here. The 35-yard line. A motion the receiver, fake the jet sweep, have the middle of Valladay. Valladay gets the first. Dives ahead to the 32-yard line. They go to the former ASU running back there and get 3. 10.5 to go. Good drive here for DC after facing 3rd and 18 inside their own 20. Finally, some sort of rhythm. 46-yard drive after having no first downs the first 3 drives of the half. Back to his left is Smith. Trips the bomb the screen. Tamu takes it. They'll send 4. Tamu looks. Deep shot. Looking for his tight end. Fairchild drops it. It is hands on the corner route. Fairchild couldn't hold on to the football. That was right in the bucket. Couldn't throw it any better. Couldn't design it any better. The mental errors for DC today have been alarming. I was about to say we have a brand new ball game. Tamu can't believe that Fairchild dropped that ball, and neither can I. Fairchild's got under 100 receiving yards this season. But a huge play there now, Tamu. He'll try again for the end zone. Double coverage intercepted. How the tables have turned. DC thought they were getting a touchdown. One play later, Tamu throws his 2nd pick of the game, and it's hold me closer, Cameron Dantzler on the interception. 3rd turnover of the half for DC, and Louisville's going to take over. He got 1 foot down. All you need is 1. You don't need 2. All you need is 1. You could ask for a better pass than 1 play later. Tamu just forced it up into double coverage. And the Kings 9.5 minutes away. You only need 1 foot, yep. Yep, you only need 1 foot. They change it from 2 to 1. Yeah, Vikings legend Cameron Dantzler, yep. Gives you PTSD for the last days it's ever with the Harvard defense, yep. Three turnovers forced by Louisville this half. Well, the equivalent of this would be in other sports. This would be... Well, I have to go football, because everything else is too... Like, baseball doesn't count, because baseball, you can see it. Like, there's no minus 700 favorite in baseball. What would the equivalent of this be? I would say the Jets beating the Bills. Yeah, I'd say the Jets beating the Bills in Buffalo. Don't have any rooting interest. My pain and suffering comes in the fall. Yep. Yep, I don't have a rooting interest in this one. Jacksonville or Arizona get a team, that changes. But I like just being a neutral observer. I like just watching the league as a neutral observer. So ball on the touchback here for Louisville. Having scored the last 24 points of the game. They'll get it at the 25. Back to his right, trips to the top of the screen. Rodgers in the gun, takes the snap. They'll hand off up the middle of Robinson. Or excuse me, Wheeler. Wheeler bounces out to the right side, 35-40, and down at the 42-yard line, brought down by Connolly. Ian Wheeler, a gain of 17. They could not run the ball at all last week against St. Louis. Killing it today. And college will be the equivalent. Ooh, college, that's a tough one. College is a bit tougher because the gap is bigger for some of these teams. Maybe Iowa going on the road to beat Ohio State. Maybe that. Yeah, Iowa on the road beating Ohio State. Oh, not Patriots. No, I wouldn't say Patriots on that. 2nd and 8. Yeah, unfortunately, she's still on, Michael. Yep. Not Iowa on the road. No, let's go. Yeah, college is a tough one because the gap is huge. Yeah, but probably Iowa against Ohio State on the road. When Hamlin retires, he's going to graduate from Hamlin and just be a NASCAR fan. Makes sense. That's the thing with like individual sports. I never got people rooting for like specific players or athletes because once they retire, what do you do? Back to his stuff, like with a team, players retire, but the team remains. Head of the middle, down to the 45-yard line, gain of 1. Ricardo SCL, yeah, that's a good pick too. That's a very good pick. Yeah, this is like what would be a minus 700 favorite? Double-digit point spread, minus 700 favorite. Like, what would that be? Third and 7. Back to his right is Wheeler. One at the top, two at the bottom. The tight end, Zach Davidson's line up at the top of the screen. Rodgers takes it. They'll send 6. Hitch route, middle of the field, caught the 50. And did he get across the 50? Oh, I don't know if he did. This is big. This is big. Obviously, he's short of the sticks. Did he get across the 50? Because if he did, he got to go for it. Where are they spotting this? Yeah, they're going to spot it that he crossed the 50. That extra effort gets him across the 50. Yeah, Tom Grossi, 38 years. Yeah, he crossed the 50, so they got to go for it. Back to his right. A costly 5 yards potentially, but not going to matter. First down, Wheeler trucking his way ahead to the 37-yard line. They had to go for it there because they crossed the 50. And they get 13 as a result up the middle with Wheeler. His second run of the drive of 10-plus yards. Wheeler just right up the B gap, then bouncing off Micah Baskerville, I should say. And that's a first down for Louisville. They're churning the clock. And they're on the verge of some history here. Trips to the bottom of the screen, back to his left. Rodgers in the gun. He'll take it. Hand up again up the middle of Wheeler. Wheeler's going to get about 3 to the 34-yard line. Again, the clock runs on everything in outside 2 minutes, but this drive just keep the clock moving. Louisville, again, enter this game as the worst rushing offense in the league. 133 yards today. Now, Les Stickle still exists. Yep, somehow. Thank you for your service, Les. Yeah, Rip My Heart in Sports. Yep. Welcome to my world. Back to his left. 1 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Hand off to Robinson on the right side, trying to bounce to the sideline. And he breaks the tackle. Robinson looking sharp so far. DeAndre Baker just throws him to the side. And what should have been a gain of 1, it's a gain of 5. 3rd and 2. I would think 4-down territory here. Since a field goal keeps it at a 2-score game, I would think you're thinking of this as 2 plays, get 2 yards, and keep that clock moving. DC has 2 timeouts remaining. Louisville still in the huddle with 10 seconds. They just break it. 3rd and 2, Robinson in the backfield. Jumbo set here. Rodgers, they're not going to get this off. They have to burn their final timeout. They have to burn their final timeout. We'll have none left. 3rd and 2. Yes, I was only 10 years old in Zimmer. That is crazy to think about. That is absolutely crazy to think about. Yeah, if you know, you know. Yep. Kenny McCormick, yep. Can't believe they killed him like 20,000 times. I have to go Taco Bell and drown my sorrows, make it worse. The Lions lost to the Vikings. Oof. I'm going to go Comes out on that one. I'm going Comes out. 3rd and 2 in the pistol. Hand off your stretch play. Robinson, he's stuffed. About 20, give you 40. Stuffed to the 31-yard line. 4th and 5. Now you kick the field goal. I was going to say you get nothing you consider going for it, but now you kick the field goal. But they're going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. Well, I don't know about this. A 49-yard try. They are going to go to the top, 1 the bottom. Timeout. And that's DC. That actually is really good for Louisville because DC only has 1 left now. That's a bad timeout to take. You should have taken that before. DC, they might have been out of sorts, but still, timeouts are currency at this point. We're down by 2 scores. If you take it at the end of the 3rd down play, that's one thing, but to take it now, you let 40 seconds come off the clock. Louisville basically gets a free play out of that. The decision? Yeah. And now they're going to send the field goal unit out. So they get them to burn a timeout. They'll send the field goal unit out now from 49 yards. Brown 2 for 3 today. This one, make it 3 for 4. Right down the middle. And John with the tenor. I appreciate you a ton on that one. You were going to do a video on the Aviators decision. All hail the Kings. What a game for them. That's when their 3rd game of the season, all in a row. They just got to get a home win at some point, Lynn family. Just got to get a home win. But yeah, what a game for the Kings. Just dominant. Rodgers, best game he's played. The run game, best game they've looked. Like, this team looks good right now. Do you want basketball or hockey for you make the call? I appreciate you a ton on that one, John. Let me get you on the LED board. Thanks for the play-by-play. I appreciate you a ton, man. That means a lot to me. I love calling this league. I love the UFL. Been calling it for years. I wish I had a Kings helmet behind me, but they don't sell Kings helmets on the website. So record my D-backs? Theoretically, I could, yeah. I could. I appreciate you a ton on that one, John. Appreciate you a ton. You do have emojis in the chat. Members do get to use King's emojis in here, and we do have that. I appreciate you, man. Let me get you on. I'll just put us that. Cavs up at the half by 16. Did not see that coming. Appreciate you, man, on that one, as always. Means a lot to me. Thanks so much, man. Love calling this league. And this is, barring anything crazy, this is going to be the biggest upset in UFL history. Glad to be on the call for it. Kickoff return by Validate to the 33-yard line. That's where DC is going to start this drive. It's still a two-score game. I shouldn't say only a two-score game. But remember, with a three-point conversion, it's a two-score game. DC was up 13-3. Louisville scored the last 27 points. The Snakes, pretty often. I mean, the catchphrase is Snakes Alive. In 23, the whole thing was Snakes Alive every time we did a rally. $30-13. Tamu takes one of the top three of the bottom. He's going to take a deep shot down the field. Double coverage, incomplete. Brings up second down. Under 4 to go. Tamu in the gun, back to his right. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Takes the snap, they'll send 4. Tamu looks, slam pass, that's caught as Ukama breaks the tackle and spins ahead to the 47-yard line. Gain of 13 and a first. I should note, it's a footnote, but Tamu, the record for most passing yards in a game is 376. Tamu's got 331. You believe it was? Yeah, I think so. I remember that one, yeah. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Didn't know what they meant at the time, because I didn't follow Bispo back then. Tamu throws it away, incomplete. There's no one in the area. He was in the pocket. That should be grounding. That should definitely be intentional grounding. He threw it on the near side. There was no one in the area. And now they do get the flag for grounding. So back it up. From bad to worse for DC right now. He was in the pocket. Hit hard on the play by number 44, Daniel Greziak. So faces some pressure today. His current record, Austin Reed on Dallas. He did against Houston in week 1. 376 is the current record. So second and very long. Trips to the top, 1 to the bottom. Back to his right, they'll send 4. Tamu, looking, has to step up, avoids the sack, now flushed out to the near side. He's going to take off and run, and he'll get out of bounds after a gain of 2. Louisville's barrel on the road than at home, yep. 3rd and about 17. And what's obvious 4-down territory here. And DC only has 1 timeout. So if they don't get this one's sayonara. This one's over. 3rd down. Two at the top, 2 at the bottom. Back to his left, or back to his right, I should say. Tamu. That's a false start. Movement there by the tackle. Remember, you lost Duran earlier. Michael Tarquin gonna get called for it. Yeah, I think he is. Killer on that one. I think he is. So move there by Tarquin. Again, you lost Durant earlier in the game with an injury. So back it up 5 yards. 8th penalty on DC today. They have been sloppy in so many aspects. About to drop their first home game of the season. 5-game winning streak about to come to an end. The parity in this league is incredible this year. Smith in the backfield to his right. 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. They're going to send 4. Tamu. Middle of the field. High throw, but corralled at the 45-yard line. Ball came out at the end, but he was down already. That's Powell on the grab. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. 4th and 2. The ball he was down before the ball came out. Mayfield picked it up. He's adamant that this is Louisville ball. But no. Oh, actually, hang on a second. It is true. That is true, JP. Yep. Hang on a second. They might take a look at this one. That ball might have been moving. That ball might have been moving. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. You can pause pick up where they left off in the AAF. That league's defunct. No, that league is dead. They cannot. So 4th and 2. This might be a fumble. Yeah, they rewinded. Yep. Yep, they didn't realize they're going back to commercial. That ball was moving. That ball might be out. She gets to pick up play. Okay, yep. Well, that I think they were confused of whether to go to replay or commercial break, and they just decided we're going to do both. Which obviously did not work out. Orlando purple an orange string team now? Yes, they do. Yes. So 30-13. We got to see whose ball this is. Mayfield picked it up immediately for Louisville. So you always pick up a loose ball. Powell might have juggled it. If he did, that's the 4th turnover this half for DC. In what has been a nightmarish game for them. There are 5 straight wins, most of them in dominant fashion. The average margin of victory, well over 14 points. Yeah, that knee's not down. That's a fumble. That is 100% a fumble. That is 100,000% a fumble. And Mayfield, immediate recovery, picked it up immediately. But he does have to make sure he caught the ball. Did Powell make a football move? It looks like he's got control there. Yeah, he took 3 steps. That's a fumble. That's Louisville ball. That is absolutely Louisville ball. That is absolutely Louisville ball. They review it. It's a fumble. And Louisville's going to take over with 2 minutes left. In DC with 1 timeout, this one is basically over. Yeah, that is a fumble. Yes, it is, Tommy Anders. That is a fumble. Flag on the play after the run gets about nothing. Now, our stream tonight, we're going to do an OT stream later tonight at like 10 o'clock Eastern. Whenever I get back from the D-backs game. We're not doing OT tonight, or for this stream. I'm going to get the video out, get something to eat, get the video out. And so video's going to be dropping around 6 o'clock Eastern time. And then I'm going to go D-backs game, and then we're going to do OT later tonight. And flags are flying after the play. I'll redirect you after this, Dr. D. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on both sides. It's going to offset. Make it 2nd and 5. We know 100 times from yes, you do. What makes you decide whether it's going to be a standard vid or a documentary? It depends on how much I can find. I don't want to stretch it out. Depends on footage. Depends on how many layers to the story there are. Handoff here. Robinson bounces outside. He's going to get about 2. 3rd and 3. It depends on a few things. Like, this one's a standard vid. Documentary, that's not the one that's come out today is not the documentary that I said when I found the footage. That's going to come next week. Yeah, I saw Ron McDonald perform the national anthem. Yes, I did see that. He's done that a few times at different sporting events. Like, apparently there's a whole process to becoming a Ronald McDonald. Like, apparently it's like a legit thing. Confidence prayer tonight with Merrill Kelly on the bump, 20%. Not high at all. Merrill Kelly is not good. He's washed at this point. Handoff here is going to get 1 4th and 2. And DC is not going to take a timeout. It's a 2-score game. It's 4th and 2, but they're not going to take a timeout. DC's letting this run. They are just going to wave the white flag down by 17. They're not going to take a timeout in a 2-score game. Bowling Bean Bradford with 10 minutes to go. All right. You hope we do better tonight? Yeah. It's the last 2 weeks have been rough. Last 2 weeks have been rough. He has to feel being a fan of the newest team. Yeah. Yeah, it does not feel good right now. A Widow Jumper edition? Yes, he does. Yeah, the Ron McDonald parody? Yes. Pun here, fielded and returned to the 30-yard line. Refs on the Kings side. I will say I wasn't crazy about the call after the Roberson fumble. What point would I boo? I would just leave at that point. No, I wouldn't boo. The roughing the passer, that was a high hit. That was a fine call. But I was not crazy about the call after the Roberson fumble. I was not crazy about that. Yeah, Redmond knows what he's doing right now. Redmond looks like he knows what he's doing. That team was in trouble. They were 0-3. They've won 3 of their last 4 to get right back in the playoff picture. Golden Knights on the crack in the 2 expansion games. How's it going, Lou? Appreciate you being here. 17 seconds left. Tamu staying out there. It's probably just be a run. I don't know why you'd be throwing the ball here if you didn't call a timeout earlier. No, they're going to throw. I don't know why you risk it with the way Tamu's been hit today. Going to take a deep shot down the field, and that's incomplete for Scott. There have been some weird calls this year. I will give you that, Tommy. There have been some very weird calls this year. Second down. Flag on the play. Hey, delay the game with 11 seconds? That's a great question. Up the middle, Jackson, nothing doing. That's going to take us to the end of the game. Yeah, defense needs some improvement. Yep. Yeah, Rogers looked very composed today. 30-13, your final. One of the biggest upsets in league history. Maybe the biggest upset. Louisville, double-digit underdogs. Minus 700 favorites for DC. And Louisville scores the final 27 points of the game, goes on the road, takes it at Audi Field, and wins it. They're third of their last 4 to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Right, you could do that, Keller. Yes, you could absolutely do that. So, on that note, appreciate you guys a ton for tuning in. JG9 signing off. We'll be live later tonight, like 10 o'clock Eastern for some overtime. I'm going to get the video out, so that's going to drop, and we'll have a new video drop in about an hour. So, appreciate you guys a ton. JG9 sign off. Louisville, 30. DC, 13, your final. The Kings win their 3rd game in their last 4 tries. Take care.